Thank you all for coming tonight. We're gonna play the soothing sounds of Ian Moore while everybody walks in. We were all now in the little lounge. Now my name's Callon B. These wonderful folks behind me are the Hive. And we have the lovely red velvet, the goddess. We're also very happy to be here with you all. Thank you to Neartown Recovery for such a beautiful event. We were blown away when we walked in. I'd like to take a second to appreciate the band for a moment. Tonight's theme is all about being grateful for those around you, those in your circle that have a positive impact and a positive influence on your life. We want to cherish and nurture those relationships. On the drums tonight we have Israel. On the keys we have Ian Moore. On the bass we have Cody Wagner. On vocals we have our beat-loving men. And as I said, red velvet, the goddess, the queen bee of the hive. And I am Callon B. And we are Callon B in the hive. And we are looking forward to being with you tonight. We aren't too far away. We're actually from Paducah, Kentucky. Some of us have stomping grounds in Murray, so we're very happy to be here tonight. Very fun night planned for you guys, courtesy of Neartown Recovery. We are here for a good time and a good cause. I'm so happy all of you are here to share in this experience. And this is the Laird Lounge. The name of this song is Little Egypt. Hey, yeah. I sit down while I sit at the zenith, all seeing eye, see to believe it. Top of the pyramid like I'm in Giza, and I just left Little Egypt. Yeah, bridge is over, till my cup, spill it over. I'm about to double up, I'm going ultra. Hey, my magnum opus, this is my ultimate, all of these all is semantical. I pop a supplement filled with botanicals. Life can be poison inside you, an antidote. Ian just gave me a key to piano, no. This shit is raw as it get, you can bet on it. I ain't let artists or repertoire step on it. Step to me talking that jazz, I gon' step on it. Got shit to play, feel we can get tectonic. Hey, I live my life through the wire, I feel so electronic. All of this talking exhausted, I'd rather show you the flow so exotic. Yo, I'm known to keep the head nodding, and you get your bitch, you like that at home garden. Think that I cut like a ginger and sharpen my mental. I raise my potential. that most couldn't fathom. I'm superficial when dealing with rappers. This ain't a cut, it's a jazz. I turn the beat into ashes and dust and say let 'em. Give me the drum, but I gotta stay polished. For present office, you see I'm a locksmith. Real overpowered but cautious, trust in the process and focus on progress. You watch the throne while I sit in the zenith. All seeing I see to believe it. Top of the pyramid like I'm in Giza. And I just left little Ouija. Bridges over, till my cup, spill it over. I'm about to double up, I'm going ultra. Hey, my magnum opus, magnum opus, yeah. Natural instinct, I feel the need to connect with a fig tree. Bare feet rooted, I dig deep. Gotta stay grounded, this ginseng, yeah. I hit a voice in the mother, and it went a wind breeze. So the traffic breeze, she told me nothing is skin deep. This means like we lose all they get fucking to quick creep. I hear you talking, I'm not comprehending. Getting you bitches on how you live sick. I'm drinking by this little bit of big. You keep on doing the most, it's so condescending. But I digress and I lead by example. Microphone check with a southerness handle. To me you quick, no candles. I'm such a handful. Drug music, this is a landfill. Straight out the mud like a lotus. On its own dust to the souls. This sun, this night after to the soul of the walk. This Apollo, we see I told her. Typical signs, some shit on my calendar's mine. Heaven with people, my brothers are wine. Mine is anxiety, the spirit inside it, so I gotta try it. Hey, you watch it go while I sit in this zenith. All seeing now, see to believe it. Top of the pyramid like I'm in Giza. And I just left little Ouija. Bridges over, till my cup, spill it over. I'm ready to double up, I'm going ultra. Hey, my magnum opus, yeah. We the Hive, yeah. TrYbe, baby, yeah. Yes, it seems everybody is taking their seats now.
Oh. All right, guys, give it up for Callon B and the Hive. Come on. So back in, I guess it was in October, we had P3 Fest. Anybody else go to P3 Fest? Anybody here? If you didn't, next year it's a skateboard competition that Neartown puts on in the name of Peter O'Rourke III. Incredible event. This year, Andrew, AO, if you know AO, he booked Callon B and the Hive to come out and the Goddess Red Velvet, and man, we were blown away. About halfway through the first song, Mike B, wherever he's at here, he come up behind me and he whispered in my ear, he said, we need them in February. And so here we are today, man, and Callon, we're so glad
we're so happy to be here. We appreciate it.
If you're not into hip hop, hey, that's okay. Listen to the message that these guys promote, y'all. These guys have got their vibe, their message. I know everybody in this room doesn't like hip-hop, and that's okay, because they're really not hip-hop anyways. If you listen to them, they're just this blend of everything amazing, and they're great, just incredible artists. So what we were thinking for tonight, when we talked about A Night of 1,000 Laughs, it was something dear and true to me because, if you ask my kids, I'm not sure they're somewhere out here, they'll tell you that I'm a bit of a comedian, that I'm a funny guy, and, or maybe that's if you ask me, I'll tell you I'm a funny guy, but any way you look at it, I got to thinking about, Night of 1,000 Laughs, there's a big stage here, maybe I can come up, and I've been wanting to do this. The kids say these things that I tell are dad jokes. Anybody familiar with a dad joke? Okay, so I want to start a petition to get rid of this dad bod, dad jokes, and all this thing. When I was growing up, I had an Uncle Mike, okay? And now my Uncle Mike was the guy that would come up and poke you in the ribs and always had something funny to say. And he's one of the best dudes I've ever known. But his jokes were incredible, and they're still incredible to this day. And I kind of modeled my joke-telling stuff after my Uncle Mike. So I'd like to petition that we go from dad jokes to Uncle Mike jokes. Yeah, okay, so there's a few laughs. Okay, see, what's going to happen tonight, y'all, is I'm going to prime the pump a little bit here, and I've been working on a little bit of material, and thought, if we're going to get 1,000 laughs, we're going to have to start somewhere, so why not start right here? Okay, so I don't know if Callon's heard this one or not, but so why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella? Why? Faux drizzle! Come on! it up. It didn't work as well as I thought it was going to. Okay, I've got a better one here. Okay. So what did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Anybody?
No.
Got us?
No.
What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies. I need my drummer. Yeah. I guess I should probably keep the jokes to the professionals and just do what I came here to do. And so I guess we need to start. I need to thank a few people for tonight, y'all. We've got a whole gang of sponsors that help make this event possible, and I've got it written down because I couldn't remember all of them. This wouldn't be possible without, some of your businesses are sitting out here and you guys funded this thing, and that's what makes this nonprofit world work. And we're so grateful for all of you guys. We had, let me get my list out here. ITS, which is Industrial Training Services, is our presenting sponsor tonight. So give it up for ITS. Come on, get loud for it. They're in the exciting world of industrial training, and if you don't know anything about that, here's their table. Come up and talk to them because it is riveting work. You guys will love it. Come and check it out. We had another presenting sponsor that wanted to stay anonymous. Y'all, that's a pretty cool deal. Somebody that wants to be a presenting sponsor, and they said, no, just get another one too, and we'll give you that much money as well. That's the kind of community that we live in, guys. We had Taylor Bus Sales, we had the Murray Bank, Chandler Plumbing, Taylor Family Dental, Lake Kim Federal Credit Union, Independence Bank, Emerald Therapy Center, Kentucky Lake Oil, Brightview, Fox Ridge Computers, Alliance Healthcare, Toyota Murray, Baird Financial, Garland Rentals, Sean Jones Masonry, Tony Page CPA, and Haverstock and Pittman. Y'all, that's a bunch of good sponsors. Let's give it one more time again. So thank you. But also there's two people that I really want to thank for tonight, guys. There's a fellow by the name of Mike B. Is Mike B in the room? Where's he at? I can't see from up here. If he's in here, stand up, Mike. Come on, Michael, stand up. Y'all, this dude right here.
He's a bee of the hive.
Mike B is in the house. Mike B, man, this guy, he's incredible. He's always walking into my office and he's like, wow, what can I have some money to do this? Or can we do that? Or can we do this? And he's just constantly hammering us. I want to do this. I want to do that. And he wanted to start doing events, and he does our alumni events at Neartown. He puts together any of our kind of fun stuff that we do out there. We were sitting in my office one day, and I said, let's put together a big event. And didn't think much more about it. And the next day, he's back in my office with a list of ideas and all this stuff, and he starts talking about comedians and a good time. And man, this is the first big event this guy's ever planned. And if you look around you, man, this is pretty cool. It's beautiful. We sold 220 tickets to this thing. We had that list of sponsors, all the volunteers that are here, and that dude right there put it together. So that's pretty good stuff, I'm sure his mom, who's sitting there with him, is like, nah, he didn't do that. My little Michael didn't do that. There's no way. But also, Lauren Carr, are you in here? Lauren, if she's not in here, she's out there at the table. Y'all, Lauren Carr is with the Exchange and the Grace County Health Department. And man, this girl is incredible, y'all. She's got her hand in so many things. She works with the Harm Reduction Services. If you're not familiar with what harm reduction is a needle exchange, it's Narcan distribution. It's a lot of different things that reduce the harm that happens from substance abuse. There's people that say, well, you're just giving people needles or this and that. We're trying to keep people alive long enough that they can get in recovery. Because one thing you don't need to forget is that dead people do not recover. Okay, there's stuff out there today that, when I was a kid, you could take pills and you could do things and you didn't die. Our kids now, man, they can take one pill from somebody that's not what they thought it was and they're dead. And so, Lori, man, the work that she does, there she is standing in the door right there. Give her a hand, I tell you what, all the stuff you see sitting on the table, to the catering, she had her hand in so many different things here, and I just want to say thank you, Lauren, for all that you do for Neartown and for our communities and the people with substance use disorders in our area. So for tonight, I'll give you guys a little rundown of what's going to happen. We got some great music with Callon B and the Hive. You know, just give it up to them. That's gonna say you'll hear a funky buzz, a little hum coming from the Hive back here. These guys are, I can't even tell you how incredible you guys. You guys are in for a treat with them. We got some music with Callon B. We got some great food from Cars. You guys may be familiar with Cars Steakhouse in Mayfield. You know, they had a little tragedy with the tornado, but they're still kicking and doing catering stuff. And if you need an event catered, get with Cars. We'll have some great food later on from them. We're going to have some incredible comedy from Kroger's very own Latin lover and disco king, Diego. If anybody knows Diego, man, you know, Diego will have everybody in this room laughing. He'll have 4 or 5 of you women dancing. I mean, it's going to be quite the show with Diego tonight. We've got... Let's see, I'm going to do a little bit, I'm going to share some stuff with you guys. I'm going to share a little bit about Neartown's, our mission, what our organization is all about. We may have a couple surprises, we may give some stuff away. But most of all, we're going to have fun, we're going to have a big time, and we're going to make sure that everybody's here enjoys themselves. So we've got a couple of people strategically located through here. This is a big deal. You guys need to know this. Okay, so everybody that's here, either your employer or you or your mom or your cousin, or somebody paid for you to come to this event, you know, and the money went to a good cause, but obviously you paid for 1,000 laughs. You know, it is a night of 1,000 laughs. So we've got some volunteers scattered throughout the building here, and they're going to be counting laughs, okay? And so here's what I need. I need some help. Like when you hear a faux drizzle joke, I need you to laugh, okay? 1,000 laughs is a whole bunch of laughs, and it's going to take all of us in this room working together. See, you see his shirt? It says GYB. You know what that stands for? It says got your back. That's their GYB. The check we make out for these guys is to GYB Entertainment. Got your back entertainment. So you guys need to get each other's back and get our back and laugh at some of these jokes. Because I wrote a bunch of them and they're going to be quasi-funny and, you know, you're just going to get what you get. Once we reach 1,000, then we'll let you guys know, and then you can calm it down, and you can just laugh at the good stuff. Okay, so you know, it's going to be up to us to get there. I want to make sure everybody gets what they paid for. So we're also going to have a couple of videos of some women that have been through our Women's Sober Living program, and a couple of success stories. And they'll probably, if you've got some tissues, you may want to pull them out because they're both some pretty big tear jerkers. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to dim the lights. We're going to throw a video up on the screen, and then I'll be back up here, and I'll kind of guide you guys through what getting your meal looks like and all, and we'll get started doing some eating and having a good time. So thank you guys for coming. You know, peace be with y'all, and watch this video. It's going to be a good one.
My name is Samantha, and I'm an alcoholic. My sobriety date is August 21st, 2019. Once I hit high school, everything changed. I was offered a pill, and I took it without question, and pretty much blacked out at school, and don't remember much of it. When I took that pill, I knew that was exactly what I was looking for, to make me feel like I belonged, to make me feel like I could be included in things. And so I started searching out for more pills. It just escalated from there, more pills, and then it escalated into harder drugs, you know, cocaine, and then meth. And as soon as I got out of high school, I went straight to college. I was going to school for nursing, and I stayed with this girl that I met in a CNA class that I was taking. She was quite a bit older than me, and she knew where to get the drugs. She introduced me to her brother, who is the father of my children. He had been in and out of jail a lot, and that was the lifestyle that I looked for. Like the people that were in and out of jail, the people who knew how to get the fast money, who knew where to get the drugs. I just didn't have time to do school because my drug use took up all of my time. So I ended up dropping out of college shortly after enrolling. Ended up in Louisville, Kentucky, where I was introduced to heroin, and I used a needle for the first time. I felt like I had arrived. I felt felt like that was exactly what I had always been looking for, to make everything complete. And I did everything I could to get it. I used to break into houses and steal anything I could get to take to a pawn shop. And I felt no remorse for doing that. I felt nothing when I would break into someone's house and I would take their things. That was my life. That was how I lived. I was hustling for money. I was living in my car. And that's what I did. 6 months after starting heroin, I was in rehab for the first time. My mom had convinced me that I needed to go, and I was very hesitant about it. It took some time for me to commit to going, and I would say the only reason why I did is because I ran out of money, I ran out of drugs, and I ran out of any other option. That was a very short-lived amount of sobriety. I stayed sober for about 8 months, immediately went right back to shooting up heroin. 2 months after I relapsed, I found out that I was pregnant with my first child. I didn't want to have a kid. I didn't want to be pregnant. I continued to use, I continued to shoot up heroin every day because I did not want this child to be born to someone like me. And so about a year and a half of just constant use and drinking, and I found out I was pregnant again. About 2 months after she was born, I was arrested for some public intoxication, wanton endangerment, because I was in public with both of my children with me. And they took my kids from me and placed them into custody with my mother. After 11 months, they gave me custody of my kids back. During this time, I did end up getting married. I was in a very abusive relationship with the man that I married, and it was mostly just a lot of drug use, a lot of drinking, a lot of fighting. This went on for about 3 years. There was one time in particular that I had gotten up at 2 a.m. and he wasn't there, and all I was worried about were drugs. And so at 2 a.m. I get my kids out of bed and put them in the car, and we're gonna go find him. We're gonna find him. And we found him. The kids were scared. We ended up getting back home, and my husband was so angry with me for what I'd done looking for him, and we were fighting. It was really, really bad, and he picked up a 2x4 and he hit me over my head, and I passed out. When I came to, both of my kids were right there beside me, and they were crying, screaming, terrified. That's just not the type of things that children should have to live through or witness. August 20th, 2019, I was arrested again, and this time they didn't give temporary custody to my mother. They gave her permanent custody of my children. And this time when they took my kids, it was almost a relief. It was a weight lifted off my shoulders that they were going to be taken care of the way that they should have been taken care of. A way that I wasn't able to provide for them, my mother was going to provide for them. And I knew that they were going to be okay. I was court ordered to complete treatment, and then court ordered to reside at her town for 1 year. I made it to her town, and although my first couple of months were not wonderful, eventually I got it. I did stay at her town for 1 year, 366 days to be exact, because 2020 was leap year. And I commenced the program. I immediately started volunteering, and I came back to her town every Sunday and did one-on-ones with the women, and had family meal with the women, and gave rides, helped them find jobs. Everything and anything that I could possibly do, I did to help the women coming into her town. After about a year and a half of volunteering, your town hired me, and I was given a paid position to carry the message and help other people in recovery just like me. After about 6 months of being in her town, I met my partner, my girlfriend, Emma. She was in recovery also, and I wasn't really ready for a relationship. I had just gotten a divorce from my ex-husband, and I was still very new in my sobriety. I wasn't really ready to commit to a relationship, but there was just something about her. I'm very lucky that the relationship that I have with Emma went the way that it went, because we were both very, very fresh in our recovery, in our program. Neither one of us still really knew who we were as a person individually, let alone how to be in a relationship and be there for someone else. But we've grown together. We've now been together almost 3 years, and our relationship has grown tremendously, on a personal level, on a spiritual level, on a recovery level. I had been sober about 1.5 years when I asked my mom about getting custody of my kids back. And I thought that the process was going to be hiring a lawyer, going to court. I thought it would be a long process. And on February 4th, 2021, I went to Zoom court, and without a lawyer, without anything, and the judge granted me custody of my kids back right then and there. I'm not really sure why, other than it was just God working in my favor. It was, just the proof of recovery and what it does for people, and how I let that radiate off of me when I'm in court with the judge, talking to the judge about the things that I've accomplished, the things that I've done, me having my own place, my own means of transportation. I have a job that I've had for a year. So I was lucky, and I got custody of my kids back that day. And the reason I remember the date is because it's the day before my youngest daughter's birthday. So for her birthday, I got to tell her that she would get to come live with me again. When they first came to live with me, it was not easy. I had not been used to having my kids. Even when I was in my active addiction, I didn't remember. There was years of time and months of time that I don't remember anything. So I didn't really know what it was like at this point to be a parent. I didn't know how much work I was going to have to put into it. And my mom wasn't just right down the road where I could call and say, like, hey, I need you to go get my kids. I can't handle them right now. I didn't have that anymore. So it was a process, and it was a struggle. and I figured it out. And it's been a great process. It's been great to be able to have my kids here and to be able to say that I take care of them on my own. I don't need my parents to come get them from me because I'm too high or I'm too drunk and I can't take care of them. Now I can take care of my kids. I finally moved out of my apartment and got a 3-bedroom house with a fenced-in backyard, and we got 5 more dogs because we're dog crazy. And it's just me and Emma and the girls and our 6 dogs, and we just have a happy little house. And used to, when I was using and getting high, I didn't care about, I wanted all my windows to always be covered. They had to be covered. I didn't want any of the light to come in. I didn't want anyone to be able to see inside of my house. And now, every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do in the morning is I go raise the blinds in the living room. It's the first thing I do. And what makes me even happier than letting in the sunlight into my house is going to the farmer's market and getting fresh flowers every week to keep on my kitchen table. I just love how the fresh flowers make me feel. It makes me feel peace and happiness, and that my house is a happy place to be. The transition from jail to inpatient treatment to sober living, then on to my own place was probably the best decision that a judge has ever made for me. Her town taught me not only how to live sober, but also how to get up every morning and make my bed. As small as it may seem, like that's a big part of your day. Wash the dishes when they need to be washed and don't let them pile up, and just making sure the chores get done. And that, not only taught me how to live in a clean household, but it taught me how to parent better. It taught me how to be a better partner in my relationship. Her town taught me that alcoholism and addiction is not a death sentence. They've handed me the tools necessary to live a happy, sober life.
It's good stuff, man. So, there's a lot of times people will ask me, they'll say, man, because they'll see people, coming and going and falling, and they'll say, how do you continue to do what you do? And y'all, that right there is how I continue to do what I do.
Yeah, that's great and all, but how about we address the elephant in the room?
Elephant in the room? That's not cool to call one of our guests out here an elephant, for one thing. But, these folks came here to have a good time and eat a good meal, hear some good music, laugh at some jokes, maybe have a good time. And you come up here calling one of our guests out here an elephant? You think you're some kind of 2-bit Dave Chappelle or something?
First off, look at me. If anybody an elephant in the room, it's my fat ass, all right? Second of all, you came up here, did your little spiel. Oh yeah, by the way, we have Kroger's own. You said Diego. It's always Diego. Diego. It's like Marshall from the Brady Bunch, bro. Like, why do people love Diego so much? Like, why? I don't know.
Wow, Jamal, it's like I might have hit a nerve or something there, buddy.
Nerve? Bruh, I've lived in Diego's shadow for damn near 20 years now. It's been the bane of my existence, man. Like, I mean, it's damn near sad, really, to be honest with you. It's sad.
You know, Jamal, I think you might be in the right place tonight. There's a couple tables back here that are just full of therapists. And, you know, I think maybe if we could get Gordana or somebody to go backstage with you, or maybe Jay Sweeney. I don't think you can handle Jay Sweeney. Maybe we'll get Gordana to go backstage with you after this thing and maybe work through a little bit of that anger, you know, see if you can't.
Yeah, for beasting therapy.
Yeah, you know, but you know, could Diego really be that bad?
Could Diego really be that bad? Could Diego really be that bad? I have to imitate Diego just for customers to like me. Hola, how you doing? How you doing, my Diego? How you doing? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? I have to do that!
Easy, slugger, easy now. These folks didn't come here tonight to hear you whine and go on about Diego, man. These people came here to have a good time, man, to get down, to boogie, to laugh a little bit. So let's do what we came to do, man.
Get down and boogie. All right, I think I can do that. No, for real though, you got some therapy back there, for real though. Like, for real, where they at? All right, hit me up backstage. I don't think I'm needed.
Yeah,
for real though. You don't know Diego.
I think I can line that up, man. We're Don's guy. I think we can get you lined up with a therapist in the back. You know, I mean, you know, man, just to be here tonight is great and to do this, but to see you up here so mad about Diego is classic.
Thank you. I'm glad you like me. No.
Yeah. So let's. What do you say? What do you say we move on just a little bit here, and maybe head in the direction this thing's supposed to go? Get you away from that anger. Are you down with that?
Yeah, I'm down with that, but I also heard you had some dad jokes.
Well, I don't guess you heard me earlier when I said I think we need to call them Uncle Mike jokes and not dad jokes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, but I have been working on a little more material. So, all right. So, if any of you guys, if Alan's out there, he really likes this one. Any of you guys ever heard about the pickle? No, nobody's heard about the pickle. Well, it's a big deal. You should. Big deal. Get it? Big deal. Okay. Well, this one's a little better. Okay. All right, Jamal. So check this one out. Okay. So a mushroom walks into a bar, like a mushroom does, and gets up to the bartender and he says, "Hey, man, I think I'd like to have a soda." Bartender says, "What? We don't serve your kind here." Mushroom looks at it and says, "What? I'm a fun guy."
This dude really said, fun guy.
All right, well, I got just one more.
Hey, hold on, bro. Hey, look, man, I'm gonna be nice to you. That was awful. That was awful, okay?
Wasn't too bad, was it?
That was awful. That was awful, man. That was awful. How about, I'm just saying, just maybe we should leave the comedy to professional.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay, I can roll with that. So I think I can leave the comedy to the professionals. Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
Really can? Yeah. You know my name?
Diego. I mean, Jamal.
Look, we in church. I'll smack this big dog. I saw how Will Smith did to Chris Rock. I saw what I need to do. To be honest with you, just don't make me. I'm in front of a whole bunch of people. Just don't let me do this real quick. All right, just please.
All right, so I tell you, why don't we move this on and we'll get going? I know we got a bunch of hungry people out here. If they're like me, they're way past their feeding time. It's 35. It's time to eat and all. So so what we were thinking, we were talking about doing this thing. We were talking about being up here. I wanted to take a little bit of Neartown and bring it to you guys and bring it here tonight. And one of the things that makes Neartown so unique is our focus on gratitude, man. So one of the things we do before a meal, we don't get together and pray and bless the meal or that kind of stuff. What we do is we get everybody in the room together. There usually be 15 or 16 guests in the program, 8 or 10 staff members. So we'll have 25, maybe 30 people in the room. And the room's packed, everybody's sitting there, and what we do is we go around the room one person at a time and we share one thing that we're grateful for. And so when a person's been with us, if they come with us and they stay for, the better part of a month, by the time they've been there that long, they've gone through gratitude 90 different times. Because that's 90 times they sat down and had to share one thing they were grateful for. And so anybody that's been there knows the first couple times they sit down and do it, they're like, oh, this is horrible, I have to do this again, But after they sit through it a couple times, you start watching the way that they carry themselves and the things that they say they're grateful for go from being, I'm grateful for God the judge, or I'm grateful for my mom, or I'm grateful to be here, to really having some heart and really having, some meaning to what they've got to say. And what happens though is when you focus on, it's not being Pollyanna, it's just looking for the good things in my life. And when I start focusing on the good things, next thing you know, throughout the day, those are the things that I'm looking for. Because bad stuff's going to happen. There's going to be bad stuff that happens all around us, and we just got to deal with that. But if I'm looking for the good stuff, man, it really keeps me in a good spot. So we try to instill that in our guys when they're with us, and when they leave, I went, and I think mine is falling out in my pocket. I was going to show you. I carry, or falling out in my car. I carry a gratitude rock in my pocket. It's just a little white rock that says grateful on it. And if I ever start getting ill or something about something during the day, I just rub my finger across where it's etched into it, and it makes me think, oh, hold on, what am I grateful for here? And so instead of giving out coins, a lot of programs will give out a coin or different things when people leave. We actually give people a rock to keep in their pocket that says grateful on it. And so what we thought would be cool was if when we got here tonight, we'd let everybody go around this room and share what they're grateful for. But there was a little problem with that. Okay, so when we got 25 or 30 people doing it, it takes us a half hour, 40 minutes. So anybody that's good with that math, Alan's a numbers guy back there. What do you say, Alan? If we tried to start right now, there's 200 plus people here. About how long do y'all think that would take? The 4th of July. Alan has spoke, and he is the financial guy in the room. So I want to be out of here before the 4th of July, although I enjoy you guys' company. I think it's great. So what we thought we'd do was we would let each table, you guys can share one thing that you're grateful with each other. So one of you's gonna start, and then the person to your left is gonna go, and the person to your left, you're gonna go around the table and share one thing that you're grateful for. It can be something that happened today, it can be something in your life, it can be something you're grateful is gonna happen. Doesn't matter, it's your gratitude. But what we thought we would do while we were up here on the stage, we got this lovely crew with me, we thought we'd give you guys a little bit of an example. So we're going to go around and we're going to share what we're all grateful for, and then you guys are going to go around and share what you're all grateful for, and when you're finished, I'm going to give you some instructions on what we're going to do for food, and you're going to get to hear some of these funky beats from Callon B and the Hive. So I'll start it out, and what we do, of course, my name's Jeremy and I'm an alcoholic, and you don't have to, if you're not an alcoholic or an addict, you don't have to address yourself like that if you don't want to. You can if you want, but you don't have to. But, I do that so that I remember where I came from. And so I'm Jeremy, I'm an alcoholic, man, and I'm grateful for this, man. I'm grateful that Neartown started when my best friend Kenny and I had an idea, and we started in our house. I pointed at that table. You're at that table, aren't you? I can't see anybody. There's so many lights and lights. And it went from a little yellow house to us having the idea and it really being a reality that we're going to be able to start a women's program. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm grateful for Kenny that he got on board with me. And let's go to the drums and we'll go around.
My friends.
All right.
The opportunity to play music.
Right on.
The strong arms and full hearts that seem to be around me to help me when I stumble.
Sweet.
All of the beautiful faces in this room, thank you guys for coming out tonight. I am grateful for the gift of song to be able to share with all of you tonight.
I'm grateful that.
No, yeah, I said. Oh, okay. Such a gentleman. I'm grateful for him. I'm just kidding. I'm grateful for all of the neighboring hives, near or far, wherever you are, that are singing the song of unity and compassion.
Oh, man.
I'm grateful that there was only. Talk to your ass later.
In therapy.
Yeah.
Token
Pick on me. Nah, I'm just thankful that there's not that many black people on stage because they spend too damn long talking about how much they're grateful for before they eat. The food get cold, all that stuff, whatever. So I'm glad it ended with me. So yeah, there you go right there. That's what I'm grateful for.
Right on, guys. That's funny. All right, so what I want you guys to do now, I want you at your table, and if you're not sitting with somebody, go sit with somebody. You need people to be able to do this. You gotta have somebody to share, because it's not just about sharing gratitude, it's about hearing other people's gratitude, man. Because when I hear yours, it makes me more grateful for the things I am. So you guys start, and when it gets quiet here, I'll give you guys some eating directions. Wow, y'all are a grateful group. This is cool, man.
At least you look good.
So how's everybody coming with their gratitude? We getting close? I don't want to rush anybody. You guys keep, if you're grateful, keep being grateful. Okay, so if everybody feels like they're getting all their gratitude out, I'm going to give you all a little bit of instructions on what we're going to do to eat here, because I know everybody wants to have some food. This guy. Okay, so we're going to start getting food with the people on this side of the room. And then we're going to come to about the people in this part of the room. And then we're going to mosey on along and we're going to get the folks in this part of the room to get food. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, I don't know, maybe the first, we didn't really do these tables out very well to count. But, somewhere right in here, we will cut off. And you guys, these 3 or 4 sections of table right here, you're going to go around this way, and you're going to make your plate, you're going to do your deal. For those of you that are meat eaters, there's all kinds of good stuff out there. And for those of you, I know there's a house full of folks here that don't partake in the meat as well. And there's also a dish out there for you. So if you're vegan or if you're vegetarian or that kind of stuff, there's something out there for you to consume as well. So
No one ever thinks of us.
I know, isn't that something? I mean, see, Lauren thought I was crazy. See, I told you. But so what we're going to do, we're going to start with you guys. So if you guys want to stand up, and while we're doing this, Callon B and the Hive, they're going to play some music. They're going to play music through the whole meal, okay? So you guys really soak it up and enjoy them. And yeah. Huh? 5 minutes. I know we're a little bit ahead schedule, so give me 5 minutes. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Jamal, let's tell some jokes. What do you got? Let's tell some jokes. Yeah, right now. Callon, you got any good jokes?
How does Moses make his teeth?
How does what?
How does Moses make his teeth?
How does Moses make his teeth?
He brews it.
Oh! That's a good one. So, who out in the audience has got a good joke?
All right.
Anybody over here? What do you got?
Why did the tomato blush?
Why did the tomato blush?
He saw the salad dressing.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. I love it. My kids have been hearing that one for years. I love it. It's one of my favorite jokes.
You've never heard that before, no?
That's one of them. I love it. So what do
Did
you
hear
got,
about
Diego?
the cheese factory in France that blew up?
I mean, Jamal.
There was debris everywhere.
I don't have anything right now. Oh, man, you can call me Diego. I don't have anything right now.
I really gave my best work right there.
It is your best work. Are we really doing jokes? This one
We
is
got, well, they need about, we got a little bit ahead of schedule. I started just a minute or two early, so they needed about 5 minutes with the food to get everything set out. So I need about 5 minutes worth of jokes, y'all. Surely somebody's got 5 minutes worth of jokes. What about you, Cable? You got any jokes? You got anything good? Huh? No? Kimmy, what about you? You got anything funny? Cable is, y'all, that's horrible. That was awful. Oh, what you, Brian? I know you got something funny. Oh, look at him. He was waiting for this. Come on up here, Brian. Go on. This is Brian Trumbull, y'all. If you don't know this dude, this is one funny dude right here. Yeah, you can come up here with us if you want. Yeah, we'll give you a microphone and everything. We're trying to fill 5 minutes.
Hey, he probably funnier than me, and they paid me. So you never know. Come on, bro. Here you go.
All right, so there was this church and they had an invitation at the end of the service, and these 3 couples came up and they said, we want to be members of the church, and the preacher said, that's okay, but you have to abstain from relations for 1 week. I don't know if we can do that. That's what you got to do to be a member of the church. So, a week goes by, the 3 couples come back. First couple comes up, and he says, well, did you make it? And they said, we did fine. We prayed, we read the Bible, we stayed away from each other. No problem whatsoever. And he says, congratulations, you can be a member of the church. Second couple comes up, and he says, how did you do? Pastor, we struggled. We really struggled. We had to fight it. We even had to move out of the home for a couple of days at the end of the week, but we made it. He says, congratulations, you can be a member of the church. Nice. Atmosphere is everything. So the third couple comes up. And he says, how'd you do? And he says, Pastor, I'm sorry. We made it till Thursday. We stayed away from each other. We prayed, we read our Bible. But she was looking in the freezer one night and I just couldn't stand it. And I took her right then and there. And the pastor said, I'm sorry, son, but you cannot be a member of the church. And he said, well, Pastor, that's okay. The people in Walmart won't let us come back either.
He carried.
Hey, bro, that was smooth.
That's all right.
I thought I was in Coming to America. Sex chocolate. That's what I thought I was doing right there, bro. That's the random.
Put it here, Brian. That's all right. Give it up for Brian Trumbull, guys. Yeah. I got one more. I would be disappointed if I didn't tell you guys this one. So there's this farmer and he's out working in his field. This is a near town favorite right here. And guys, you got to remember we're a short-term residential program. So about every 30 to 40 days we have new people. So I never run out of material. I've been telling the same jokes since April the 1st of 2018, and I guess I can keep telling them forever, and this is a near town favorite. So there's this farmer, he's out working, and he's planting, and he's doing his stuff in his garden, and this little rabbit comes off of it. And he looks at him and says, "Hey man, got any carrots?" Farmer says, "No, I don't have any carrots, get your butt out of here." Rabbit says, "Oh!" And he hops on out of there, goes on. So the next day, the same farmer, he's out in the same garden, and he's tilling and weeding and planting and doing what farmers do in gardens, and all of a sudden you see, "Hey man, got any carrots?" Farmer says, "Man, I told you yesterday, rabbit, get out of here or something bad's gonna happen to you." And he says, "Oh!" The little rabbit bounces away. So the next day, y'all, it's crazy. The same farmer, same field, same garden, same deal. "Hey man, got any carrots?" Farmer says, "Look, rabbit, if you come back here again, I'm gonna nail you to the tree by your ears. You got it?" Rabbit says, "Oh!" And he bounces away. So it's okay. The next day comes up. Farmer thinks it's gonna be cool today. Farmer's out and he's working in his garden and he's doing his thing and he's digging and he's planting. And he's just doing what you do in your garden. Lo and behold, what happens? The rabbit looks up at him. He says, "Hey man, got any nails?" Farmer says, "Huh? No?" He says, "Got any carrots?" It's one of my favorites. It's a good one.
Classic.
It is a classic. So what we're going to do, we're going to let Callon B and this get started. They're going to play just some low key, or I don't know, maybe play some high key music. I don't know anything about keys. So they're going to play some kind of music. And what we're going to do in a minute, I'll stand out here when they give me the go for it. I'll send you guys, and then I'll send. Yeah, let's go from. I'm going to go and lay this out for them. So we're gonna go 1, 2, about 3, somewhere right in here. We're gonna cut you right in half. But you guys stay with this, and we'll go here, and then we're gonna come from ITS. And we'll come over to about here. We'll get this middle section, and then last we'll come over here and we'll get this section. Okay, so you guys listen, Callon B in the Hive. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna have some comedy with Jamal, not Diego. Too bad. I'll share with you guys Near Town's mission, and we'll have one more video, and we'll wrap this night up and have some fun. Okay?
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
So for our next song, I know everyone's about to start eating, so we have a song called Grace. And no matter what your nationality, your background, or what you believe in, this is a universal prayer dedicated to friends and those around you. The song was actually inspired by some friends of mine that I knew were going through troubles that Near Town deals with, recovery, and this is kind of an ode to them. Grace. should call them, tell them, hey, hope that you're okay and know how much that I appreciate the memories we made. I'm so proud of you became. That's grace, been created in the likeness of a God. Renegades, things I had to face through the fog. Now I elevate, lead strays through the fog. With these righteous rays, lead you to the synagogue. Pray. Grace. Check on your strong friends. This next song is about when you just having one of those days, but it just can't bring you down. You're just rolling with the punches. And sometimes you just feel like you slow dancing in the swarm. Just one of those days, just one of those days, just one of those days, just one of those, just one of those days, just one of those days. Time to make it loud and clear, be working around here. You can hear the crowd cheer, yeah, I like the sound of this. Allowances, can't count on counterfeits. I'm accountable, ego checks balances. Just one of those days. Hey yo, just one of those waves. Bounce back, made a few plays. This shit is soundtrack to a new day. I'm showing I'm made of. Gold age flavor, cause hip hop raised us. Down south player and I'm KY grown. West side tailored, always wave to my neighbors. Say grace at the table where your man is at. Always put your money where it matters fast. Wanna break the cycle, gotta pick up on the pattern. Cracks dead on arrival. Miss the world Bible. Now the vibe is tribal at the high mind recital. So you standing in the storm, slow dancing in the storm. Standing here more of a man than before. Callon B, keeper coming out of these speakers. They was all bugging, had to make them believers. Just one of those days. Just one of those. Just one of those days. Just one of those days. Just one of those. Just one of those days. 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 Just another day in the maze. Probably one I'm a lab rat. Just got a check from being my ass cap. Why these little rappers wanna cap? Word from the wise, no lies in my rap side. Drives and adapt. Just 6 sides to my habitat. Whole game in a hex. No chain on my neck. Whole brain on the thread. Whole gang on the set. I'ma break both my legs, take a stand, and I do it again. World variant, no proletarian. Oh, how weird is to have no narrative. No knowledge of my heritage. I grew up American. Now I see the whole world clear. It's clear. These moments we cherish from years, so I'm sharing them here. No embarrassment fear. I ain't gotta look away from the man in the mirror. Staring in the face of the man of the year. It's just one of those days. Just one of those weeks. Every day a good day for me. Now we buzzing like bees in the spring. You even see the crowd wave like trees in the breeze. Just one of those days. Just one of those. Just one of those. Just one of those. Just one of those days.
I don't wanna hear it, I don't wanna hear it today.
Just one of those days.
Need a negativity, keep the bad vibes away.
Just one of those days.
I don't wanna hear it, I don't wanna hear it today.
Just one of such a good cause. I'm feeling the love, feeling the vibes. Yes. And there's only a couple people I know that got the vibes. And they're here on stage with me.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Y'all give it up for the guys.
See, I was talking about therapy earlier. And I got a different kind of therapy. See, when I'm feeling down, out, full of pain, I like intimate therapy. I like sensual therapy. Can I get a little crowd participation, please? Y'all okay with that? Y'all mind helping me out? Repeat after me, y'all. Say, ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la. Come on, y'all. Ooh la la, ooh la la. Say, ooh la la, ooh la la. I need some therapy. It's time to ease my mind, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I've been so stressed lately. I'm tired all the time, yeah, yeah. So won't you come rescue me? Oh boy, do me a favor. Listen, so baby, roll me up a bit. Give me something sit to drink. Lay my body, rub my body, send me into this. Whisper something sweet to me. Kiss me so gently. Take away the pain from me, relieve the pain. You have to save it all of me. Candles burning, got me yearning. I think it's safe to say that all I need is make love to me, sweet, sweet love to me.
Y'all give it up for Rebel of the Gods. So sweet. What he didn't tell you tonight is that no one's actually allowed to leave until they laugh 1,000 times. And we are keeping check. Yeah, the laughometer is, it's really tame right now actually, so it doesn't seem like you guys are getting out of here anytime soon. Yeah, if I do my jumping jack warm-ups up here, you might. This one goes out to anybody in the room with big dreams. We got them in the Hive. And now cars in the clothes, rods in the dough for the star of the show. Now being in charge and keeping it large, wanna be who you are. Till they come true like deja vu. Dreams manifest, my chest 1, 2. I'm a movement to spark revolution. Hey, and we change the world through music. We all dream either near or far. You wherever you at, wherever you are. Check it out in the web from quintessence. The way that I dream, you would think I'm on the left. Big dreams of me growing down the mainstream heavily. And I ain't have to sign and sacrifice my integrity. Don't need a street cred to credit my craft. Cause it ain't where you from, it's how well you rap. Had a dream and was living in an era of gold. MC was more than an industry mode. Real rap won't flop and my record don't stop. I was more than a guest in a house of hip hop. The thing I've always wanted to say that will put me in your box if your shit escapes. As I lay me down each night to sleep, pray the rap gods that I can fulfill my dreams. Now cars in the clothes, cards in the door for the star of the show. Now being in charge and keeping it large, wanna be who you are. Till they come true like deja vu. Dreams manifest, my chat 1, 2. I'm a movement to spark revolution. Hey, and we change the world through music. Dreams. Dream. We all got. Some people dream of a movement to spark revolution. Hey, and we change the world through music. Keep a dream journal on my nightstand. Every morning feel the full of nightmares. Funny how I lose sleep chasing my dreams. Letting them die is an everyday thing. Sometimes it seems that my dreams unattainable. Like I'm not capable of mentally available. And day to day life is so hard to big time. So I wrote this song and my turn to fly. Eyes on the prize on the clock. Cause when I'm on, it's back to the lab and it's on. This will be an opportunity. The water, the dreams of my legacy. Eat, sleep, breathing, never MCing with no rhyme or reason. And that's my freedom. Told my superiors what I was scheming. They couldn't believe it. They told me to keep dreaming about cars in the clothes, cars in the dough for the star of the show. Now being in charge and keeping it large, wanna be who you are. Till they come true like deja vu. Dreams manifest, my chest 1, 2. Of a movement to spark revolution. Hey, and we change the world through music. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Some dreams they dream, some dreams come true. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Some dreams they dream, some dreams come true, true, true. Some dreams come true. Some dreams come true, true. Of a movement to spark revolution. Hey, and we change the world through music. Dreams. So as you all know, all the proceeds for tonight go towards the Newtown Women's Center. Well, we have a song that fits the vibe for that. Perfectly surprised. This is dedicated to all my divine feminine beings in the room tonight. We would not be here without you, and we give you our gratitude. Feminine stash of statements. Rooted through my sacral navel, I need activation. I've been lacerated, girl, meet with your gravitation. Graph the NATO, read the charts, we're so compatible as stars. You can shine white as dogs that reflected back to chords. You provide the charge, I can energize the source. Grand design of hearts like a crystalline quartz. Hell, would divine force through your nebula. When we intercourse, our intercourse is molecular. The architect of nether was celestial developers with planetary metaphors. Our bodies seven measures. You the yin to my yang and the big to my bang. The soul to my meg, hold the twin to my flame. With your zodiac frame, you built a temple with potential. I'm kinetic through these windows. I see you. You are divine in your mind and your beauty be defined by the gold in your soul. You're the apple of my eye. Sun to my moon in the sky and it both was collide. Masculine and feminine alive.
The force around me is something magnetic. It's drawing you closer to me by the minute. Lifting my voice to make the world listen. Make them aware of everything they missing. You got no other distance. We come from different dimensions. Together we are a vision. We must accomplish our mission. Bring the light to our vision. I hear your body's compression. Your inner abundance of blessings and answer rhythm for lesson.
Especially as a woman, as you are divine.
Tell your mother you love her. Thank you guys. Now the food sure is smelling good, I can't lie. Definitely will be having a plate. But I'm gonna base that off of you guys' facial reactions to the food. Just kidding. We love Cars. I'm actually from Mayfield. Fun fact. So shout out to Cars. Red Velvet, the goddess is about to put you under its a good one though.
This magic and it's taking a hold. And I unleash this power straight from my soul. Come in, give it a seduction, diamonds and gold. I am Diosa, I'm taking control. You're watching me, I'm watching you.
superstition of a fortune telling charm. No magician ever talks to the tricks in this fall. Little glimpse of the palm and sand for the palm. You my voodoo doll. I'm a ceremony master with these wrong, and I captured a part of the magic. Each hot classic, a new rite of passage. Read my tablet of midnight masses. I got them in trances, packed the encampment, read the enchantress, candlelit dances, divination. I mom that's initiation. I'm a star like the Silver David. It was written on a Ouija. Let's flash, it's getting kinda creepy. See me, cypher go round, pendulum keys swinging till another bag goes on the wall of the video.
Taking control, call me Diosa, taking control. I am Diosa, taking control. Oh,
I know that's right. Thank you guys. Make sure to follow us all on social media. Look us up on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, whatever you got. We there. You know all my people on the live stream tuning in. Appreciate you as well. We're gonna keep this show.
can I get a little blues in or something from music? Do y'all mind? This song is near and dear to my heart. I wrote this back in what, 2016? It's still a banger to me today, and I want to share this with all of you. This song is called Damaged Goods, because although you may be damaged, you still good.
Preach.
I got a refurbished TV like 10 years ago, and it still works.
Facts.
Here we go. I've been running for a long time, running from the truth. I've been searching for peace of mind, but it's the problems I find hard to leave him behind, 'cause they follow in a line. You can't compare your struggles to mine. Lost in insecurity that they made me believe, feeling their desires. No, I couldn't be. They cheated me, don't respect me, they deny me, always lie to me. How can you go to the party expecting not to be, try not to die with the love I could ask me, myself, and I. Yes, I know I tried. I said I'm damaged goods. I say I'm damaged goods. And my heart is damaged goods. And my soul is damaged. Tell me, where do how do I begin to love again? Tell me, where do how do I begin to love again? Tell me, where do how do I love again? Tell me where. 'Cause I say I'm damaged, yeah. My heart is so damaged. 'Cause and my soul's damaged. How could you hardly expect not to be? Tell me where. Pretending to love again. Tell me where. Oh, somebody tell me where. Oh, how do I? Tell me where do I? How do I love again? Oh, somebody tell me. Oh, yeah. So damaged. Thank you.
Don't give it up for Rob. They got this. That one almost gets me every time. Thank you to the Hive. Thank you, Red Velvet. We're gonna keep the entertainment going. Hope y'all enjoy the food. Thank you, Near-Town Recovery again. Yeah, I heard me mention earlier that this is not a Lair Lounge, so that you're in a safe place. Surrounded with like-minded people that all have your best interest at heart. We have a theme song for the lounge. Goes like this. Yeah, we cool, calm, collected, that vibe's protected. Don't come around trying to act all extra. Speak a bit of truth, but you always gotta stretch it. Worry about likes, trying to reach for impressions. These times testing, it's a gift to be present. Lay a lounge checking, got legends in my section. What up? That Hive on the come up. Ain't nobody finna blow my high. I've flown that kite all over the sky. What's paradise, what a roll to die. Living in the corner, I'ma open it wide. I probably always wonder what's way out yonder. Trust my path, got so much to offer. Take my dollar, take my honor. I'ma move onward, live long and prosper. Yeah, probably kush deep down, I was a lawyer. No more worried, I won't ever be a father. Ex probably hoping every day that I call her, but I distance from it all. Be gone through the walls, and I done one before. I can't write that, probably why I write raps. Keep it in a nice cap, find me a safe space. I can unwind that someone struggle on. I need a turn back, I'm trying to go to unload when I've had more than enough. Gotta let time lapse, my thoughts tend to run off like a down dash. You all know my tag, but you got my back, huh? Homies, they come and they go. Seasonal shows, seen it before. Umbrella, that's enough reason no longer be rid of. It's really a riddle how eat pat timbers. Never thought you could grow up to be a killer. Damn. Son of man, son of Sam, Wadzilla. It's me being super selective of who I connect with. Each mind free and eclectic. My circle is sacred with multiple best friends. Whole gang layered. I peel back that excess. My doppelganger is a shadow we dreaded. Keep the connection through these lost relics. I sat in Lotus and woke up in Kemet. Flow through the poses. Illegal hermetics. Push, pull, leverage. This is magnetics. I don't need Xanax. I'm feeling so Xanax. Shit. This life's protected, don't come around trying to act all extra. Speak a bit of truth, but you always gotta stretch it. Worry about likes, trying to reach for impressions. These times testing, it's a gift to be present. Like a lounge checking, got legends in my section. What up? I wanna come up. Ain't nobody finna blow my high. I've flown that kite all over the sky. What's paradise, but a roll to die. Women in the one, I'm over the wide. Ain't nobody finna blow my high. only in the Hive. You can catch a buzz off live. Cool, I'm collected, and never protected. Come around trying to get college extras. You know the truth, but you always gotta stretch it. Lay a lounge checking, got lessons in my section, what up? Yeah. So beautiful. Shout out to all the sound guys, all the video guys, everybody that it took to make this possible. Nobody realizes the type of work that has to go into an event like this, so we are grateful for you guys as well. You make our lives easier. Hope y'all are enjoying the sounds of the Hive tonight. Thank you guys, we appreciate y'all. We don't know if it's the vibe that you expected, but we are glad that you are rocking with it. We all come from different musical backgrounds, and we just came together with the mission to just create something that feels good and that's beautiful to us in our hearts. So we appreciate you guys being receptive of that. Alright, we're gonna lift these vibrations a little bit. What do y'all say? When I sun up, I'm hot like a crazy spasmodic in a lab, polish spending every day I have on is when it's sun down the motion, I rewind the tune on. I know how to move time, to loosen up the suit tie. Had to check your shoe size for you to try walking the path. You can't have down the infamous side. You lack the proper footing, time back putting. The people pushing and pulling for me. How should I put it? So you don't get it crooked or misinterpret the sermon and speak purpose to the weak. The environment around the clock working. Ever see me out? I'm a hermit, but the word is me. Never finish nervous now. Well, I'm nervous, yeah, I spit so sick. Callon B, get it on, and I won't miss. We respond to this real hip hop shit. We drop gems and carpet. Now I almost got spin flood. You know this record and culture can keep you all around the universal pocket. It ain't stopping like a comet. Can't burn out. I'm too solid, plutonic, smooth all around the flow. Move on it as a bug, so long, only long that I know it was written in the scars. Each wall that I wrote. Each line I heard through the bound of earth. Oh, 3 eyes are full of the peace sign of breathe right, baby. In the darkness of meditation, I'm concentrating. Unaware of myself, completely separated. I see my life and all the steps that I take in the rest of me day. Till I rest in my grave and I shake it. Unaware these earth words, my first words were hip hop. I was bumping Dr. Dre when you were playing Kids Bob. That was back in second grade, and knew that was at the stage for me to fucking break the stage and live the day and live all. Fruits of my labor, true behind the layers. Used to soothsayer, used to my behavior. Sick of being chastised, different than these rap guys. Time to put them on the whole game, get baptized out of body. Probably present of omniscient dynamic. Vibrating through a broad spectrum momentum. A rotation coming back around, cause I keep hopping on tracks from the black and big. We got as many as you want. Yeah. We got many. Okay. What we got next? Let's see. Bumblebee. Yeah, okay. Try that. So we have a saying in the Hive. TrYbe got your back, TrYbe. And that is the motto, the mantra that we live by. This song is about that. TrYbe, Callon B. Forever like Wu-Tang, ayy. Tree of the tribe where the fruit hang, ayy. Wait till it's ripe, then we harvest the mood phase. Peace, love, positivity, be the new wave. Dawn of the new age, into the self-hate. Celebrate life like Beltane. Kept giving back cause it felt right. Time to move forward in a world we can help change. Takes a nation to elevate. Family be the foundation. Mine is so proud of me, patiently waiting for all my hard work to pay off. So I can pay off all my debts and they can all quit their day jobs. I won't take a day off till I have it. Too many homies dedicated to my passion. Real friends, I am so grateful that I have them. How can I quit when a man got a talent? Crazy as my dreams have impacted my peeps, then turned to a faction, a team, which in turn has impacted me and gave me the confidence needed. You preach who you are, you were one for believing my hobby and seeing. Change to a business, you with it, then I got your back, dog. I love this. Started a tribe, now it's a village. Collaboration's a privilege. Reach one, teach one, that be the motto. Never play a role, be a real role model. Sing me for a line with a layer of apostles. Respond all this life is here, be the gospel. If hip-hop was found on teaching the youth, think it's about time we take it back to its roots. So TrYbe got your back, TrYbe one time for the family keep doing it right. You might be in a house. One time. One time for the family, keep doing it right. Time for the tribe, 2 times for the one time for the family, keep doing it right. I got your back. I said I got your back. I'll give it up for Ned. One more party, will you? Okay, we got some fun activities coming to the stage.
I think I turned I didn't turn my mic off. It's still on. All right, cool. Hey, where's Mike B at? Mike Bogan, where you at? Mike B? Smoking? Are you serious?
That's not acceptable.
Man, somebody go get Mike Bogan for me.
I automatically get his prizes by default.
And Jamal. Anybody seen Jamal? No?
I guess I have to take over with the jokes.
Huh. Nobody's following the script or the flow of the night tonight. They ever do that to you?
No, all the time.
It's like nobody's laughing at my jokes, man. Nobody's laughing at my jokes.
Ian feels
How
like that all
was
the
the food,
time.
everybody?
Basically feelings.
Food good? All right. So when you're finished, you can just scoot your plate toward the middle of the table. We got some folks that are going to take care of cleaning all that up afterwards, so no big deal with it. Just get it out of your way so you don't get your elbows in it and have a good time. Mike, bring me some tickets, buddy. Y'all, this is the best looking man in Neartown right here, coming this way. Woo! Just ask him, I'll tell you. Look at him. What do you think, Goddess? What do you guys think? Yeah? He's all right. So I showed you guys about the exchange and about Lauren Carr a few minutes ago, and I said what an incredible girl she is. And has anybody in this room ever heard of harm reduction? Yeah, you know what harm reduction is? Okay. Who's ever heard of fentanyl? Who in this room's heard the word fentanyl lately? Anybody?
Boo.
Yeah, boo. Yeah, fentanyl sucks, man. That's what I'm going to say about it. We hate fentanyl.
I'm about to pull up on fentanyl.
I wish you would pull up on fentanyl. I wish you'd do a little dread walking on and get going.
That's a drug, Cameron.
So guys, what harm reduction basically is, I'm going to mess this up. Brandon or somebody in the room is going to go, man, you messed that up. But harm reduction is basically keeping people alive until they can get into recovery, man. You know, it's not about enabling people. It's not about giving them a chance to keep getting high. You hear these crazy stories. People are like, well, harm reduction just keeps people getting high. Y'all, I swear, people are going to keep getting high anyways. It doesn't matter if you're providing them a safe way to do it or not. We're just trying to keep people alive until they can get into long-term recovery. And So that's what harm reduction is about in a nutshell, in a little nutshell. And when you walk out of here and you go to the left like you're going to leave, there's a table right there. On the front of it, it says the exchange. And there's a bunch of little bags sitting on that table. Anybody ever heard of Narcan? Yeah, if you haven't heard of Narcan, let's act like nobody's ever heard of it. You ever use Flonase? Right now, it's allergy season, we're using the stuff. I love Flonase. Caleb, you dig Flonase, don't you? Yeah, Flonase is my friend right now. But this Narcan is basically like Flonase, but it's not for seasonal allergies. It's to reverse the effects of an opiate overdose. So guys, I realize in this area we don't think there's a lot of this going on, but I promise you it is. You may not see it where you're at, but you're eventually going to see more of it, I promise. It's happening, is it not? Guys back there just say, is it happening? Brandon, is it happening? It's happening, y'all. It's hitting its way. And so we can be ready for it or we can not be ready for it. One of the two. It's our choice. And so what's available at that table, though, they've got the Grace County Health Department and the Exchange has got Narcan available for free to everybody. And guys, you cannot hurt anybody with Narcan, okay? If you come up on somebody and you're with them and you might do a little research on what the signs of an opiate overdose are. It's lowered breathing, people slump down, they pretty much pass out from their heart slowing down and their breath slowing down. And when that happens, you can take this nasal spray and squirt up their nostrils. There's a laugh, but we can count that. We can count that, I think. Yeah, you guys count that in the tally, okay? But you can take that Narcan, man, and you can squirt it up somebody's nose, and that'll reverse the effects of that opiate overdose. It binds to the receptor, and it's like if I said, Callon, get off the stage, and I start kicking him and getting him out of here. That's basically what Narcan does to that fentanyl, whatever that opiate is. It kicks it. Get out of here, and it wraps up that receptor, says, I love you, buddy, I want you to live. It's the got your back of opiate overdoses. And that's the truth, though. It gets in there and it loves on that receptor and says, no, we want you to live, we don't want you to die. And the cool thing is, y'all, you can stick it in your purse, you can stick it in your glove box, you can stick it in your armrest. And I don't like stuff in my pockets, but you can stick it in your pocket if you wanted to, and you can save a life with it, y'all. And if everybody in this room had access to Narcan, we could save some lives. And so I ask you, if you guys don't mind, when you leave here, stop at the table. There's plenty of information. They probably have a QR code. I know Turning Point put up a box for us at Neartown, and it's a naloxone or a Narcan survival kit, basically. It hangs on our wall, and it's got a QR code on it. And if you think somebody's ODing and you're not sure what to do, you can run up with your phone, hit that QR code, and it gives you about a 30-second video of exactly what to do. And I would say some of their stuff has it on it. There's plenty of information out there. So please stop by. The Exchange helped fund a whole lot of the stuff that happened here tonight. A lot of the stuff that's on your table, the T-shirts that have went out, some of the banners you see, all that stuff, none of that came out of our pocket. Every bit of that was done with money from the Kentucky Opiate Response Effort and a grant that they're working under. And it's a big deal, y'all. This stuff is, they're saving lives and they're doing a good thing. So I just ask that you guys, that you'll give them a chance, walk by, just grab it, think of it. Even if you think you don't want it, grab it, take it with you, do a little research on it. And I think if you came here, if you made it to a fundraiser to start a short-term residential program for women, that you probably care enough about people's lives that you're going to want to have this stuff around. You may be sitting here right now thinking, oh, that's not for me. But if you made it here, you're that kind of person. You're the kind of person that needs to have that around. So I just ask that you guys will grab one, check it out, and talk to the ladies that are back there. There's a couple gals that are at the table, and they'll be glad to give you some information. But they also, with all this cool stuff that they've done, they put together a basket of goodies here, man. And we thought you guys were kind enough to come out and hang out with us and listen to some Uncle Mike jokes and, have a... You're supposed to pause when people laugh, but I didn't laugh for that one. But I got to laugh for that.
I was waiting for the punchline.
I was just pausing for like Jamal told me, he said, oh, man, because the reason the food was slow was because I got about 20 minutes ahead of schedule. I didn't look at my clock or my watch, my phone. When we started, and I started about 20 minutes early, they were supposed to play a couple songs to start. Sorry about that, guys. But he told me a few days ago, he said, you don't need a whole lot of material when we're up there, because there'll be a lot of laughing. You got to pause for the jokes. And I think that's partially how we got ahead. We didn't pause for enough laughs. But I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's some AirPods, some Apple AirPods. I think there's an Apple Watch in here. There's a water filter thing. There's a yoga mat. Darren, I know you'd like that. Texas Roadhouse. Man, there's all kinds of stuff in there. And we wanted to give something away to somebody that came tonight, just to say thank you for being here. I was thinking about tossing these up in the air and picking one up, and then I thought about picking them up after everybody's gone, and I changed my mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shuffle them a little bit. And is anybody a Grateful Dead fan in this room? Yeah, all right, me too. And check out the keyboardist over here. Who does that guy look like to you? Can anybody say who he looks like to you? It's Bobby Ware. No, that is a young Bobby Ware right there. The first time I saw him, that's what I thought. So I'm going to let my hero. The only thing is his pants are too long.
With the magic fingers.
He needs those little short shorts on. But pull us one of these out of here, Bobby. Well, we were going to cheat, man.
Can we get a drum roll?
I wanted the AirPods. Here, get this. Yes! Who do we have, Bobby? Who do we have? I'm not sure how you tell. Oh, there's ticket number. There we go. It's right there. Can you see that? Those little lines? Ticket number 290. You're supposed to keep your other end of this.
Hey!
Hey, you get welcome to Murray too. Maybe this is a new Murray resident. Say hi to everybody. You see this guy right down? Give him a warm Murray welcome. Let me see what you got there. Well, that's not 290. Come on. Just kidding. There you go, man. It's all you. No, it's all you. That's all you. The whole thing, man. Welcome. We ripped that, really. But
His whole family is getting those gifts for Christmas this year.
we thought that was great. I'm going to check and make sure my guy's back here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's here. I couldn't find him earlier. Oh, no, Ricky Ball was skipped out. I said, that's the joke. That's going to be the funny part. The comedian doesn't show up. I'm going to stand up here and do it. I had one more. This guy... I can't remember how it went now. There's something about when the rock pees. Josh, how's it go?
How does the rock go pee?
How does the rock, you guys know the rock, how does the rock go pee? He claims it's Johnson. Wow. That was funny, man. I mean, that was pretty funny. Guys, so we're going to give it up. Everybody, this next dude, man, Jamal. Like I said, we had fun with the Diego bit, but you guys know this guy from Kroger. He's hilarious. He does some funny stuff. I got introduced to him when COVID was going on. This guy was posting stuff on Facebook, and my wife got to read me his funny posts. That they were hilarious. So come on out here, Jamal, and y'all give it up for Jamal. He's gonna give you a little comic relief. There you go, buddy. Knock him out. Break a leg. Eat it. Listen. Do something.
And then everybody leaves the stage. Give it up for Callon B and the Hive. Give it up for them. And then give it up for yourselves. Hold on. I'm not feeling the energy right now. Hold on. Give it up for yourselves. Give it up. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on me right now, you know what I mean? Like the night says, night of 1,000 laughs and everything. I don't even know I can deliver it because I'm not $125 funny. I'm not. I'm Facebook status funny, but I'm not $125. Man, $125, that's like 3 dozen eggs. You know what I mean? Well, 41.66 times 3, that's $124.98. You still get 2 cents back. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? You can tell I work at Kroger. You know what I'm saying? And I was just playing by Diego. I love Diego. Diego's my dude. He just wanted to do a bit. You know what I mean? But so I'm gonna look throughout the crowd. Night of 1,000 laughs. I want to guarantee them 1,000 laughs. So we're gonna have a contest. Whoever laughs the most, guess what's inside this bag right here? I got some good merch. Y'all wanna see what it is? Yo, I got these eggs right here. Alright? This ain't no cheap ass eggs. These eggs are best right here though. These eggs are best. You know what I mean? Cage free too. I don't know what the hell that means. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I got some good eggs right here though. So whoever laughed the most, you know, get some eggs. You know, single guys, instead of a dozen roses, get a dozen eggs. She'll love you forever. Just let you know that right now though, for real though. But like I said, I work at the grocery store. I've worked at the grocery store for 19 years. It'll be 20 years October. No, don't clap. Single ladies don't like that. They don't like y'all grocery store work. They don't like that, for real though. What I do know is that I'm 38 years old and I have no kids because I work at the grocery store. Because kids are mean as hell. Hey, where are the parents at? Yeah, y'all kids are mean as hell. Stop having them pick on the fat dude. Man, if it's always the fat dude. And never pick on anybody else but the fat dude. If I'm Santa Claus and I got presents, you know, they cool with me, but I don't have presents, so they pick on me. So, like, these are a couple things the kids be saying to me. They be looking at me just like, sir, do you do drugs? And I was like, nah, man, I don't do drugs. He was like, you sure you don't snort coke? I was like, nah, man, I don't snort coke. He was like, good, because if you did, you had to snort Diet Coke. I was like, damn. I mean, it was funny as hell, don't get me wrong, though. But everybody knows Coke Zero is better than Diet Coke. I'm not a basic person, you know what I'm saying? But no, like, then another time I was cashiering, a lady came through a line with a little bitty girl, and she saw that I was starting out comedy. She saw I was starting out comedy and everything, and I was trying. She was like, so Jamal, I see that you're doing comedy, and I see that you're going to Missouri, you're going to Tennessee, you're going to Illinois. How are you balancing that and working Kroger full time? And I was like, a lot of comedians, they you know, they go to open mic after open mic after open mic, and I know sometimes it seems like I got too much on my plate, but I'm not going to cheat the process. And if I become a good comedian, so be it or whatever. The little girl heard everything I said, and she looked me up and down. And then, in the most innocent way possible, she said, sir, I don't think you've ever had too much on your plate. Are y'all really laughing at that? Is it dead? I'm confused. I should have brought that up. Know what I mean? So, yeah, so, fellas, I'm gonna say this. Fellas, y'all look good. I see your ladies dressed you. I see that. You know, it's like, I want to wear something, you know, not too fancy, but you know what I mean? That's why I dress down so you don't look like me. At least I'm the worst, you know, jogging pants and everything like that, whatever. See, I'm just dressed to be warm. You know what I mean? Because this is big dude time right now. You know, it's cuffing season. That's what this is right here. Ladies, I'm letting you know, get with a big dude. Big dude got superpowers during this time. Like these right here, superpowers. My breasts, they do. They do. See, you don't know they're sleep number pillows. What they are. Well, I mean, by sleep numbers, they're adjustable for your cuddle. See, if I lean forward, it jiggles, it's soft. When I lean back, it's firm. So you get a firm 15 or a soft 60 anytime you want, you know what I mean? Not to mention, it's fabric softener, and my breasts are exfoliated right now, you know what I mean? Exfoliated, sugar scrubs, coconut lime, it tastes like a Sonic drink. Right now, you know, it tastes like Route 44 Sonic drink, but I'm built like Route 66. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is, man. Yeah, but you can tell that I really am single because I look like a broke Uncle Phil. I look like Charles Barkley now. Hey, first of all, let me tell you guys something. Hey, man. Hey, just to be honest with you, hey, man, I'm really glad that y'all brought me out, to be honest. Y'all want to play a prank on your drunk friends? Have you do a voicemail for them real quick. I'll do it for you, you know what I mean? All right, so, let's see. It was 220. How many people did he say? 220? So, if y'all already laughed 5 times, that's 1,100. I already done my 1,000 laughs. I just realized that. I realized that I ain't got to do that real quick, you know what I mean? But yeah, like, I didn't realize, like, I love cougars. Well, what's wrong with cougars? I mean, cougars are amazing. And I try to find a cougar with, like, the worst luck possible. Because that means the wine is better. Because cougars love wine. I just didn't know they made you feel sexy. And I should feel sexy. You know what I mean? Like, if I take off my shirt right now, I look like the cool emoji. You know what I mean? I shouldn't do that. Man, the hell was y'all for laughing at that, man, for real. You're like, yeah, you're fat. Yeah, I like that. Keep making fat jokes. Oh, man, for real, though. Yeah, but by the way, like I said, we were just acting or whatever like that. Did y'all think we did a good job acting? Y'all need to stop lying right there. Y'all lying. I haven't seen acting that bad since the last lady was in my bed, to be honest with you. I knew y'all liked that one. I knew y'all liked that one for real though. So the reason why it's also depressing being single in Murray because like every lady in Murray has given up on me. They find anybody sexier than me. Anybody. Like my best friend, gangster, my 2 best friends, gangster rappers. Gangster rappers from Murray and Paducah. How dumb does that sound? I lost women to towns that are named the friendliest small town in America in Quilt City. You can't be gangster in a place called Quilt City. Headshot, wig split you. Then shoot it, then I hit you. Oh my God, you bled too much, I'll stitch you. Cause I do quilts, yeah. Oh man. Yeah man, so I'm glad everybody's out. There are no masks, none of that. You know, it's beautiful. I mean, I went through it, like working at a grocery store in my department where I had to pick everybody's groceries for them. They really let me know how, well, hold on, I can't say what I want to because it's a church building. I can't, no, you weren't supposed to laugh. No, I'm just saying though, like, it's just, they made me know how I feel because like, man, I feel like I deserved a whole lot. Heroes, well, I should at least got a friend with a benefit. Didn't even have that. Because I had to stay 6 feet away from people, you know what I mean? So it was just me, struggling. I'm sorry, Lord, I'm confessing my sins right now. Sorry. I didn't have a pandemic, I had a handemic. I was by myself. Had to use my imagination a lot. Hold on. I heard a clap. You get an edge right there. Hold on. I see you right there, bro. I see it. But now, and then see the band out here had Red Velvet the Goddess. Her name is Red Velvet the Goddess. That is some confidence right there. I don't have that. I mean, you don't see me on the stage. Coming up next to the stage is Toasted Marshmallow. He's brown and fluffy. Yeah, that's what he is. You know what I mean? But nah, man. Nah, for real though, man. Life is good now. I'm gonna tell you this story real quick. This is the first time I've ever told this story on stage. But if you're ever down, please know that you always keep your head up and overcome things. March 2nd, 2017. Anybody watch Inside the NBA? Like Charles Barkley, Shaq, all of them? You watch? Okay. So anyway, there's this NBA show. It's Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, and Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith. You can tweet this show. They do basketball highlights. They're in the TV Hall of Fame. They're doing all this stuff, right? So I tweet the show. I've always tweeted good stuff, positive stuff. Yo, man, I love you. I love you. Everything was great. And then all of a sudden, I never got on the show and I got jealous. So I figured, what if I tweeted the meanest thing possible? So it was a halftime show, and I said, this replay takes longer than Charles Barkley putting on a pair of skinny jeans. Ain't no way in hell I should be talking about anybody with skinny jeans. You see me right now. I go to bed, I wake up, my Twitter icon says 97. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. I go through my Twitter, all of a sudden it was like, yo, Charles Barkley ate you. That bruh ate you. That bruh ate you. I'm like, I still don't know what happened. I had just started comedy, and I didn't know what my name to be. I didn't know if I wanted to be Jamal Gardner, or like kind of like Cedric the Entertainer, or Larry the Cable Guy. I worked at the grocery store, so I was Jamal the Cashier. On one of the comments, there was a YouTube clip, and it had Charles Barkley's head on a cashier's body. I click it, and there's me, Jamal the Cashier, and my tweet. After the tweet was read, all I hear is Charles Barkley's voice go, first of all, Jamal, you a cashier, shut the hell up. Hey man, a dude can't be a cashier. And he roasted me for 2 straight minutes. Now, at first I was mad, but I actually got a friend with a benefit because of that. because I got roasted by it. But every day I kept getting reminded that I was a cashier, that I was a cashier, that I was a cashier, that I was nothing, I was gonna be nothing but a cashier. 4 years later, during the pandemic, I get a tweet that says, hey, by the way, we saw something you did on YouTube. We want to know if you could do it for us. I was like, all right, cool. All right. So they send me to Nashville. I do this thing. I shoot this pilot for a new show, and I get hired. Now, any of y'all know what Bleacher Report is? Bleacher Report, they have an animation department, and they wanted to do a series of NBA players playing from the past, and they're playing the NBA players in the past, playing the NBA players in the present. Now, Bleacher Report is the same company as Charles Barkley's show. They hired me to play Charles Barkley. So a dude can't be a cashier, but I can play a one-time MVP. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. I was just saying, like, no matter the rocky times and everything like that, you can always overcome, because I'm looking at these movies and everything, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm loving hearing these stories. I'm loving hearing all that, because I also used to be addicted to opioids. I used to be addicted to opioids. I had 4 knee surgeries. I got introduced to Demerol at 14. I didn't know what Demerol was, but I know if you play Nintendo 64 and on Rainbow Road on Super Mario Kart, woo! I am red, green, colorblind, but I saw all them things, boy. I was messed up. For real though. But like I said, I'm not $125 funny. You already had the dinner, the movie. That's about 70. You gave your charity. That's about 50. I'm $5. That's it, $5. You know what I mean? I'm only up here for 15 minutes at 67 cents a minute. You could sponsor a kid in Africa for more than what you're paying me right now. I'm just a big dude who's trying to get out the shadows of Diego. You understand? Man, I love y'all for real though. Man, I love y'all for real. But please don't come to my job and just say, you suck! No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I'm a Cancer and I'm sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got Zodiac racists here? That's what we got? It was just like, he's a Cancer. My brother's a Cancer. My last ex is a Cancer. Never doing that again. No. But I will end it with this. I just always want to do that shit, to be honest with you. I always want to do that shit. Like, I just want to see if I capture everybody's attention and everything like that, though, for real, though. But no, I just want to say thank y'all, for showing me love, showing the people love and everything like that. If I didn't give you 1,000 laughs, I apologize, but remember, I'm just $5. By the way, who wants these eggs? No, for real, I'm giving them away. No, hold on. I know who to give it to. I'm giving you right. No, hold on. See, here's what happened. I did a joke up here earlier, and it didn't go well. And that lady right there gave me the most evil look. And here's the thing. She gave me that your mama look. Ain't nothing like. But here's the thing. I deserved it, and I apologize. But you know what though? I'm gonna give you these eggs though. You know what? Because I love you, sweetie. And I don't want you to curse and voodoo the shit out of me. I don't want you to do that. Because I know the power of a black woman. I was just letting you know, my mom was a black woman, and it's terrifying. I'm just letting you know. But anyway, that's my time. Hey, where's Jeremy at? Yeah, he was a lot better than me. That's what he said.
That's pretty cool, man. But hey, man, what do you guys think about Jamal? Give it up for I think you made the right decision, buddy. Man, you guys won't ever see Kroger the same. You'll be shopping and see Jamal and just think about cougars, and you'll get pretty tickled, or I will anyhow. Man, I want to tell you guys a little story tonight, and giving the eggs out. We went to see him at Paducah Improv a couple weeks ago, and he come out with those eggs, and it was one of the funniest things. I mean, this was a room. If you've never been to Paducah Improv, you should go check it out. But he was one of the stand-ups there, and it was so funny. The eggs was a great bit, but I guess you can't go wrong with giving away some chicken eggs. But I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story, and it kind of leads to why we're here tonight and what we're doing. So, back in 2018, Kenny and I started the place out in Kirksey, our Kirksey location, near-town Kirksey. And, we were going along, and of course we had to get the word out somehow. We didn't have any money, and marketing's expensive, and, trying to get billboards or whatever it is, we're just out of our league. So we had a few brochures made up, and I made up some little flyers and stuff, and printed them off, took them. It's when Office Depot was still in town. We didn't have a printer good enough to print stuff off on. Now we do now, don't we, Alan? But we didn't have a printer good enough to print anything off on, so I took them to Office Depot and made all these things. And so I started going around, and I just did my tour. So what would I do? I went through the phone book. That's my age. I went through the intranet, the webs, and I found every attorney's office. I pick a county, and I take every attorney's office in that county, every hospital, every doctor's office, every church, anybody that sees people that need addiction services. And I found their address, and I wrote it down, and I used Google Maps, and I made myself a little thing of each area, and I would go, and if I could get there in enough time in a day, go around, do all that stuff, and get back home by God knows what time at night, I would go. And I hit every county in this area, and through Tennessee, through Illinois, and went around, and I waited till last for Murray. Murray, we were giving stuff out, and people knew us and knew what we were doing. And so I went out one day in Murray. And I go out, and I've been here, I've been there, and this attorney and that attorney, and names and people that all of you guys would know. And I walked into a local church, and it's one of the big ones in town. And I went in, and of course, I've lived here for a long time, so I know a lot of people, just like all of you guys that are from here do, or the town you're from, you know people in. And so I walk in and I walk up to the counter, to, you know, where the office is. There's a couple of ladies working, and I gave her my spiel. Hey, I'm Jeremy Rose from Deertown. We're, you know, trying to get some information out to people, you know, that you're going to see people that need services. And she was just looking at me, and she was waving, or, you know, nodding her head, and said, yeah. And when I got finished, she said, just so you know this, my brother's in your program right now. I said, really? She said, yeah, my brother's out there, and I love what you guys are doing. I have, you know, when I talk to him, he sounds different than he's sounded in years. And, you know, she went on, praising what we were doing, and it was great. And so she took my information, and she said, that's wonderful, I'll make sure to get this out. She said, I want to talk to you for a minute. She said, I saw a few months ago, I don't remember what event it was, and she said, you spoke, and maybe it was a Rotary Club or the Lions Club. They might have been a Rotary Club meeting, but whatever it was, she said, you were speaking at this meeting. And at the time, we were trying to tell people I don't even think we were open yet. We had our sober living program, but the short-term residential hadn't started yet. And so we were trying to get the word out about it. And one thing that I've learned over time is, you know, with a room full of people this size, and when I'm up here telling you about what we're doing, I'm going to tell you a bunch of stuff that we're doing, because this table over here might be, this is all women over here, and they're like, yeah, we want to support women's services, but maybe somebody over here says, well, that's great, but I'm into community centers and those kind of things, or I'm into men's treatment, or I'm into long-term treatment, or they've got something that's specific to them. Maybe they had a kid that went through a long-term center, or maybe somebody went to Turning Point, you know, when they got what their son did, and they were just amazed at what a recovery community center did. So when I'm in a group full of people like this, I share a lot of what we're trying to do, because you never know when the right person's going to hear what you got to say. And when I was at whatever speaking engagement it was that I was actually talking to, the right person heard what I had to say. I was actually at that place promoting what we were trying to do in Kirksey, but I told them about our long-term plans. And our long-term plans at the time were the same as what they are today, but our long-term plan was to start a women's center eventually. Now, of course, at the time, we weren't even sure that we were going to get the men's center off the ground, so it was definitely, as you would call a pipe dream, or whatever you want to say, it wasn't something that we even thought would be any time remotely near. And so this one starts talking to me, though, and she says, so I heard you speak at this other event, or this other place, and you said at the end that you wanted to start a women's program. She said, I'm part of, there was a women's program here in town that had started. It was for women that got out of prison. And it lasted for quite some time, and they closed down, and they passed their, you know, when a nonprofit closes down, the money doesn't go in my pocket. You know, if Deertown closes down, any assets we have, we sell or we have to give to a place with a purpose that's similar to ours. And these programs were the same way. They had passed their assets along to this next program, and the next program was folding. Well, they had some property, and they had a little bit of money and a few things that they had to disperse out into the community. And she said, Jeremy, when you told me that, and I see what you guys are doing with my brother, she said, I think that you guys need to get the money from this program. And I was just blown away. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, I'm on the board of this nonprofit that's shutting down, and we're bringing suggestions, and I'm bringing the suggestion that you guys get that money. I said, gosh, that's incredible. Thank you. And of course, in my head, I'm thinking, we're not ready for this program. We're barely old enough. We can handle what we're doing here. And a couple weeks passed, and my phone rang, and it was her. And she said, Jeremy, I've presented this to our board of directors, and they want to come talk to you about potentially, you know, being a recipient of what we've got going on. So at the time, you guys know Holly Cherry? Anybody know Holly? That's what I figured would happen when I asked that. At the time, Holly was working at military flight travel, I believe, and was doing something totally different than she does now. And I called Holly and I said, man, I need you to come help me, and we need to talk to some people about what we're wanting to do. And we had been talking with Holly for a long time about Holly wanted to help women. Holly was helping women in recovery, still is. You know, I can't say she wanted to help women. She was helping. She wanted to do it for a living. She wanted it to be what she did, and we wanted to be able to help her do that. There's no use in reinventing the wheel. We had a nonprofit. We were already doing these things. Why not just continue to add services? So Holly came out, and if you've ever been to our location in Kirksey, it's a massive building. It's got a couple of porches on it. There's a deck in the very back. So we get there, and we walk these people down to that back deck, and the program that was closing down, they let children be there. And one part of their mission was to do with kids. You know, it was mothers and kids. And with what we do, we don't allow kids, to be there with their moms. Now, we do visits and that kind of stuff. As far as I'm living there with them, we're just not able to do that. And for a couple of these folks, it seemed like that was going to be a deal breaker. Have you guys ever been somewhere when you're talking to some people and there's just stuff coming out your mouth and you don't know where it's coming from? Yeah, well, so Holly and I were sitting on the back porch of this place, and I can kind of feel where it's going. And I don't know what happened, but something came over me, and words started coming out of my mouth, and you could feel those people just latch on to what we were saying. And it was all truth. I mean, none of it wasn't like we were blowing smoke up their butt or anything else. We were just sharing our passion for what we did with them. And they all said, thank you, we really like that, and we'll have to make a decision somewhere or at a later date. And a couple weeks later, we got a phone call, and they gave us the majority of that money that they had to give away. They had a piece of property they had sold, and they gave us a considerable amount of money from it. And that is how, if you guys have heard of Hertown Sober Living, have you heard of Hertown? Okay, that is how Hertown got started. It was not even, we weren't anywhere near being ready to start a program like that, but at that time we did. So there, right about that same time, I went to pick a kid up to come to our sober living program, or to our treatment center out in Kersey. And I picked him up at his dad's house, and he came out and got in the car and left. And I noticed it was kind of a weird house where his dad lived. I mean, that's an interesting looking place, big block building, really nice looking place, but it was massive. It just wasn't. There were two people living in it. And a few months later, that kid stayed in contact. He stayed with our programs for a while, and he told me down the phone, he said, yeah, Dad's moving, he's getting a smaller place. And we had been looking at some different properties around Murray, and there just weren't a lot of places that fit what we needed for what we had. We had a really good, our men's sober living house was the perfect location. And we couldn't seem to find the perfect location for that women's property. And he said, my dad's moving out. I thought, oh my gosh, that's a 3,000 square foot house. So our men's sober living program, the name Neartown, everybody says, well, how did you come up with the name Neartown? What's that mean? Because when you come to our Kersey location, they call it nowhere Neartown, because y'all don't have to laugh at this. We've reached 1,000. So you don't have to laugh at the quasi stuff if you don't want. But you can if it makes me feel good. But so Neartown is called Neartown because our first location is one of the first houses out of Murray on 121 North. If you're headed toward Mayfield on 121, between Kingdom Trust and the AGR house, there's a little yellow house. And that's it. And it's near town. It's not in town. It's not far out of town. But it's near town. And we weren't thinking very big at the time that we were going to be 20 miles from town. It was even asked, do you want to rename that when you get all the way out there? But so this women's program, if you go out 121 south, the other direction on 121, the first house into the county limits there is Hertown Sober Limits. So we're the first house in the county limits on 121 North and the first one on 121 South. We were able to get that property and get started, and since then there are a number of women in this room right now that went through that program. And y'all, Jamal said a couple words here, so I can say they are kicking ass at life. I mean, they are taking life by the horns, and they've got the thing with substance abuse, y'all, kids get involved in this stuff, and they're the collateral damage of it. So when mom goes to treatment, who gets the kids? Well, grandma or aunt or uncle or whoever that is. And to see moms come and get their kids back and to get a driver's license and have a car for the first time and do all these things that happen that maybe they've never kept insurance on a vehicle themselves. We've got a number of women that have went through that program that are in that position today, and it's super cool to watch, man. So we see she's still laughing, man. That's beautiful. Did you get the eggs? Is that the egg recipient? Oh, I see why you gave her the eggs now. That's funny. But so so while we're here tonight, though, we want to talk about that program and what our next step is. Because the way it works now with a sober living program, women go to treatment somewhere else. The first part of treatment is done at another location. It's not done with Neartown. It's done at a Step Works or Recovery Works or wherever else. There's lots of other places, Four Rivers or the Fuller Center. And we want to start our own short-term residential program for women. So if you don't care, Isaac Worker, throw our mission and vision up on the screen there. Or this is Neartown's mission and vision, and I had to write them down here because I can't remember all that, and I can't see the screen from here. But our mission is to provide a setting where individuals can learn about the disease of addiction and be introduced to a simple program of addiction recovery, which when applied daily can lead to a life of fulfillment and meaning. That's a pretty big deal. You know, life and fulfillment means what we're all looking for, whether we're in recovery or not. I don't care what it is. You know, that's the golden ticket, you know, when you find it. And so our vision, though, Neartown's vision is to be a full-service community health provider, utilizing the latest modalities of treatment, coupled with a 12-step approach that we're never going to get rid of, to provide the people of our region with a high-quality drug and alcohol treatment options, ranging from short-term residential to low-intensity outpatient and everything in between. We will strive to be an organization, this is it right here, that operates with love, compassion, and integrity, and is a force for change in our community. And so our next step to fulfill that vision is to start a women's short-term residential program. You know, when people come through our men's program, you know, they talk about the love that they experienced when they walked in the door. You know, we get guys that have been loved by their families, so it's not like everybody comes through never had any love, but they've never experienced the love that they experienced when they walked through the doors there, because it's just a bunch of men loving on them, and some women. You know, Ellie works out there, and Sam. You know, Sam's story, you guys know the first story that was up. Sam's a full-time employee of Neartown now. Okay, Sam drives in a new car. Yeah, I know. Yeah. You know, Sam drives a car nicer than mine to work every day at our facility. She goes home to her kids and her significant other, and she lives a life of recovery and service and of helping others, and she's a beacon in our community. I mean, she helps so many people. And she helps the guys when they come through the doors, and they're all like, gosh, man, Sam was so helpful. Sam was, because she just is. So we've got some women out there as well. But men come through and they experience this love and this thing that they've never felt before. You know, and that's a cool thing. You know, and that's something that you know, you need. You know, love alone. You guys know, if anybody out here has got a family member that's in recovery that you've tried to love sober, it doesn't work. You know, you can't love somebody sober. And some of the material that we look at, there's this frothy emotional appeal seldom suffice. And that means frothy emotional appeal is, God, but you got those kids and they're so beautiful and they're so smart. Why don't you get sober for them? Your mama loves you so much. Why don't you get sober for your mama? Oh, but you got that wife and she's doing that job. You're going to lose that job if you don't quit doing that. And some of our material says that frothy emotional appeal, that emotional appeal that you just keep going, you know, and froth works up to the top of it, kind of like a river when it's running really fast. It says that seldom suffices. So we couple that love with our clinical program. You know, we got a couple of clinicians out here, man, that are second to none. You know, Jay Sweeney back there, man, you either love him or hate him, man. It's one of the two. There's no middle of the road with Jay Sweeney. You either love Jay Sweeney or you hate Jay Sweeney. One of the two. And that's what I dig about it. You know, Matt's back here somewhere. Matt is man, what a addition to the program. Ken, you know, Ken's last name is Jewel, but I like to call him Ken the Jewel because Ken, I mean, he is such a jewel in the program. And so we couple this love with this quality clinical programming, and then we've got what we call our guides, y'all, and this is incredible. Almost every, I would say nearly every, we have 28 people on staff at Neartown right now, and out of those 28 people, I think 24 of them are people in recovery. So we're providing jobs for people in recovery. We're providing a place for people to come and be able to share them, but it's also keeping them sober. People ask, I'm a person in long-term recovery if you don't know that about me. You know, about 17 years ago, my life was a freaking mess. And that guy sitting at that table right there and another dude introduced me to a simple spiritual program of action that changed my world. And I just want to share it with everybody else now. And I'm so grateful for that, Kenny. But it's these guys, man, we've got all of these guides that come out every day. They're people that are in recovery. They're guys that almost every one of them went through our program. I think there's only one of them that didn't go through our program, maybe two. Anyhow, but there's just a couple that didn't go through our program, and they come back and they come to work for us, and then they share what was given to them. And it's, you know, they say, you know, and don't, if you're a religious person, please don't get offended by this, but one of the sayings that we say is religion's for people that don't want to go to hell, and spirituality is for people that have already been through it. And so I watch these guys, man, they stick their hand back to these guys that are still in hell, man, and they're pulling them out of it. And, man, it's the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life, you know. It's something you don't want to miss if you get the opportunity to see it. And we want to provide that for the women in our area. We want that to be available to women and we don't just get people from Callaway County, we get people from the whole Purchase area, and we even get some outside of the Purchase area as well, the Penny Ryle area too. But we want that kind of service to be available for women here. You know, we won't quite generate 28 more jobs. You know, there's some positions that won't, you know, I won't replicate, Alan won't replicate, some of us won't, but there'll be a better part of 22 jobs available, full-time jobs available when we get that open for women. And that's 22 jobs for women in recovery, man. And that's if you've ever tried to stay sober and not be plugged in, it's hard to do. And you know, and if you've got the opportunity to stay plugged in every day doing it, you know, Joe's shaking his head over there, it makes it a whole lot better, man, and it's fun, and that's who we want to employ. So that's why we're here tonight. That's what the money from this event is going to go towards. That's what, if you guys saw on your tables, there's a card in the flower arrangements that are on there. And those are stories. They're not all females. Some of those are males, but those are all people that have gone through programs in your town. They either went through our short-term residential, they went through our men's sober living, or they went through our women's sober living. And we had asked several if they would. I think I asked 3 women and 3 men if they would write their story down for me. I said, just give me 3 paragraphs of what Neartown means to you. And y'all, you'll cry if you walk around this room and read all of those, because there's some powerful stuff on that. And there's a QR code down in the bottom corner of it as well. And you know, you say, well, where's the punchline? Here it is right here. If you like what you've seen tonight, if you think Neartown's something you want to stand behind, we could use your help. Okay, we need long-term monthly supporters. We need big donations. We also need people that just take $50 a month and say, you know what, I like Neartown, I can afford to give $50 a month. I think I'll set it up. There's a QR code on that cardboard thing on your table that you can scan. It's going to take you right to our donor box donation site, and you can give a one-time donation, or you can do a recurring monthly donation, whichever one you want. And those are the things, guys, as we go along. You know, we've looked at a lot of different places, and I had hoped tonight that we would have something like concrete that I could show you of where our women's center is going to be. And we had our hopes set on a place, and we had somebody that was really wanting to hook us up with a property that was our place in Kirksey. Is, if you haven't ever been there before, it sits on 100 acres, but we had 20 acres in this massive house with a ball court and stuff inside, and it's just super cool. I mean, it's the most serene, beautiful place. There's about a 3-acre pond out beside it, and the guys can go out and fish and stuff. We wanted to keep that vibe. You know, we want to make sure that we didn't end up with something that didn't have that same feel for women. We thought they deserved the same kind of place. And this other place that we've been looking at for a long time did. Well, some things happened in those people's family, and they had to back out of it. So we're no longer using that. We're no longer going to be able to purchase that facility, and you know that it was a home for that home and use it. But right about the time that fell through, we had something else come through. The property where we're at, it was a 20-acre farm that we bought, but it was part of a 100-acre farm. And we always wanted to have it all, but we knew there was no way we could ever. There was really no reason for us to have that much property. I mean, was it to feed my ego? Was it, you know, what was it? Because it was just going to be a drain on us, and we really. So we really didn't think we'd ever have it, but as we got to thinking and planning about this, you know, where's a great place for a women's program? And I've always said that we wanted a women's program about 100 miles away from our men's program. You know, anything less than 70 to 100 miles we didn't want. Well, we have, if you come out to our place in Kirksey, you see there's our place, and then there's nothing but woods, but there's still another 80 or so acres behind it. We've had the opportunity to make a deal to purchase the rest of that property, and so now we have the house and 97 acres out there, and that sounds excessive, but on the very far back corner, as far back as you can go, there's a great clear spot that's along a creek. It doesn't have a pond, but it's along a creek. There's turkey, there's deer, there's anything you can imagine that comes out in the field. There's actually, you guys are seeing gophers, groundhogs, actually groundhogs. There are 2 groundhogs that live in the field, and I see them. They're the cutest things ever. They're not like the rabbit, you know, but they're still pretty cute. But so we're going to put our facility. We're going to put our women's facility there on the back side of the property. And that way it'll help with if we have staffing issues, if we have clinicians that are sick. We're close enough that we can share some of the things. And so financially, it's a great deal. Where it's at is beautiful. So that's what's going to be coming up next. Next year, if you guys come back to our thing that we do next year, our goal this year is to put a driveway in where we're going to make it to, and to have an architect draw up the plans and have something. So next year, I can stand up here and say, check this out. This is going to be the building. This is the women's campus. This is Neartown's place. It's a big goal, and it's going to be hard to reach, and it's going to take everybody in the community that wants to be involved with something like that to do it. And so my hope for you guys is that maybe somebody in this room will want to become a supporter of that program. You know, I said I always share other things we want to do, and I want to share those right now. You know, once we have our men's short-term residential and our men's sober living, and our women's short-term residential and our women's sober living, imagine those being bookends. And we're going to build programs in between them. There'll be a long-term program for men on this side. There'll be a long-term program for women over here. There'll be places where people can get vocational education, where they can learn how to have a trade, or where they can get an education, if it's vocational, if it's a book education, whatever that may be. And then we'll have a couple of small businesses that we run out of those that give people the opportunity to get back on their feet, save, and do things, to get out, get vehicles, all that kind of stuff. One of the other things we want to do, there's a guy in this room that runs a place called Turning Point. It's an arm of Four Rivers in Paducah. Turning Point's a recovery community center, y'all, and it, to me, is the coolest thing on the planet. I was so bummed. We wrote a grant a few weeks ago for one, and we didn't get it. I was heartbroken. Because, y'all, what a recovery community center is it's a building where people can come to, and there'll be meetings, there'll be recovery meetings there. There's lots of AA meetings in this area. But there are a lot of people that don't connect with Alcoholics Anonymous, and that's okay. If you don't, if it's going to get you sober to walk into an NA meeting, then there needs to be an NA meeting to walk into, because I was that guy at one time. I didn't want to walk into those things. So we want to have some NA meetings, some smart recovery meetings, maybe some Cocaine Anonymous. There's some other programs that we'd like to see there. Double Trouble in Recovery, which is for people with co-occurring disorders, which any of the therapists in this room will tell you, everybody that has a substance use disorder has a co-occurring disorder probably, which is anxiety, depression, it could be schizophrenia, some other things, but it's your mental health disorders and your substance use disorder combined, and it's a recovery program for it. We'll have computers that are there so that people can come in and do a resume. If you're like me, I was 28 years old before I learned how to use a computer. I had no use for one before. It just wasn't a thing that I did. I didn't know anything about resume building. So we'll have peer support specialists there. Peer support specialist is somebody who just walked down that path. They've taken a course that it's a course that the state provides to teach you how to help people along. It's a course to learn to help people, and you get a certification in it. And it's a big deal, because it's not some therapist telling you what to do or some of this big book education. They could have all this big book education, but it's somebody that's got lived experience, that has been somebody that's walked through hell and come out of it, sticking their hand back in and saying, "Here, let me help you." And there'll be peer support specialists in that building. It'll be a place where people can come together, and we can have community events, where we can have Halloween parties, where we can have Christmas parties, where we can have dances, where we can have whatever that is. But y'all, that's what Murray's got a lot of stuff to offer in recovery, but that's one thing we're missing, is for a place for people to come together after they get done and to get some of the services that they need. So that's another one of our things in our long-term goal. We've got some other stuff, but I'll stop with those things right now. And if any of that interests you, if any of that stuff that you think you might want to get behind, we'd love for it. If it's something you want to hear more about, you can always find me. I'm easy to find. I'm in Kirksey 5 days a week from sun up to sundown most of the time. And so you can find me there. You can get our website, which is www.neartownmurray.org, and you can find my email address and stuff there. And I'd love to sit down with you, and I'll go into the weeds if you want to go into the weeds. I know some of this is high level, just an overview of things. But I'd love to, if anybody wants to, I'll be glad to go into the weeds with them. So what we're going to do now, we're going to wrap it up for you pretty quick. We got Callon B and the Hive going to come back up here in just a minute. They've got a song that they're going to play. Y'all anywhere near Callon B, the Hive? I've been off on my time all night tonight. They may be outside doing something else. Oh no, I hear them back there. And they've got, so when I sent Callon B a message the other day, ever since February, we've been kind of giving messages back and forth to each other, about times and what to do, and, what Andy and them needed from them to set up here at the Force Center. And I messaged him the other day. I didn't want to catch, now, my homie Mr. Ware here, I don't mind catching him off guard, because I don't think you can catch this guy off guard. Look at his smile. I don't think it's possible. But I didn't want to catch anybody off guard with the gratitude thing. So I sent him a message and said, hey, we're gonna share our gratitude up on stage, and I want you guys to be prepared for that, and catch you when you do. So he sent me a message back nearly immediately, and he said, wow, man. He said, check this out. He said, we were gonna play this song while we're there anyways. And he sent me the link to the video for it, and y'all, this song exemplifies what Beertown's about, you know, and how we feel about you guys tonight for being here and for doing this. And these guys are really gonna rock one out for a song called Grateful, and it fits right into the whole motif of what we do. So they're gonna play this song for you. When they're finished, we got one more video for you, and I promise you, you do not want to miss it. It's great. It's got a really happy ending at the end of it that didn't get shot on video, so I get to reveal something to y'all with that. So y'all, Callon B in the Hive, we're gonna get you Grateful, and I thank you all for being here tonight. And I can't thank you enough. So here you go, again.
We had to go out there and enjoy some wonderful food. Luckily, all the vegan food was still left. But no, for real. Thank you guys so much. We're so grateful to Neartown, everyone involved with behind the scenes, all of the audience, your participation and love and your energy that you have given us has been felt. We definitely feel that right here. The song's called Grateful. Just touches base on everyone around me, everything around me, every instance I've had, the highs and the lows that I can look back on now and be proud of. I can understand now. I can break down and understand why I had to go through that to get to where I am, and I appreciate it.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. So grateful. So grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. So grateful. Couldn't be without my friends. Couldn't be without my family. Couldn't be without my friends. Couldn't be without my family.
Finally finding my way. This one goes out to my fam and my fans. Love you to death, all my friends that would follow me down through the hollows till we hit the edge. And more question except I don't know what to say. I wanna do better than thanks. Repay you for all of your faith in my dreams. You don't know what it means to me. You guys have always believed in me. Clearly I have what it takes and I know it now. Mom, I know that you always say either way you'll be proud, but I'm determined to make this all count. So I can pay for your house, you deserve it. You know I'm not distant on purpose. I'm working as hard and as fast as I can. So in the end I can say it was worth it. For it's too late and I'm gone, and that is my day. That means all I got of these songs. I'ma live on through these pages and pick what I say in a way that'll last through the ages. And some of my brothers with whom I lost touch told me for now, no, I do this for us. When it's all done, we gon' pick it back up. Right where we was, it's all up. Better show some. Thank you.
I'm grateful.
Thank you.
So grateful. I'm grateful.
Thank you.
I'm grateful.
Thank you.
So grateful. Couldn't be without a friend.
Nah,
Couldn't be without a family.
nah.
Couldn't be without a friend.
This is how we
Couldn't
hold
be
we
without
change. So I wanna thank you, I am so grateful. Without you I would not be stable, and without music I would not be able. I promise to use it for good, as long as I'm capable. The angels around me shall act as a muse and guide me down any path that I choose. Every day holds a clue, a sign or a symbol of proof. The subtlest things that I see could be huge, depends how I challenge my views. Everything's everything, I know it's true. Reality reflects what's inside of you. Ain't no such thing as an accident. Nah, all of this shit, it was meant to happen. Each and old action inspires my writing. Good and the bad, it's all part of the magic. Loved all my brothers I started this with. Can't wait to show you how far I can get. I'm leaving admit there were times that I wanted to quit. So I dedicate this to them and the tree to try to the sense. Run a few limbs, I got your back to the end. And with you all, a new saga begins. My heart, my crew is my joy begin.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Grateful.
So grateful.
Thank you.
I'm grateful.
people I'm sharing the stage with. And this is Red Velvet Goddess. Our beloved Meg. Cody on the bass. Ian on the keys. Iz on the drums. King B, Callon B. We are the Hive. Make sure to show appreciation to those that are in your life. From my hive to your hive.
Hi, I'm Mary. I'm an alcoholic, and I am here to give you a little bit of my story. My mom was a really wonderful example of a single mother. She worked really hard. She provided very well for both me and my older brother. She was just a solid rock for me growing up. I guess the first time I drank was in high school, and it was with my boyfriend at the time. And the night that we drank, I had been looking forward to it the week before. I knew we were going to get our hands on some alcohol, and when we finally got there that night, I remember being very excited and started drinking and just couldn't wait to feel what it felt like to be drunk. And then all of a sudden I felt it, and it was amazing. And all of a sudden I wasn't anxious anymore, and everyone was funny, and I was funny, and it was just a great night. Every time I drank, I got drunk. That proves to me today that I was an alcoholic from the very first drink. Got through school okay and everything, and majored in public relations, and then moved away to Elizabethtown and got my first job and kind of started my adult life. I met a man when I was in Elizabethtown, and we got married very, very quickly. I was always one to be looking for the next exciting thing to do. So we got married within 6 months of meeting each other. We had a really good life together. We went on a lot of really cool vacations together. We moved a couple times. We even moved to Colorado for a little while. We became avid snow skiers. You know, it was obvious that I had this addictive disease and that he did not. And after so many years, that started to rear its ugly head. At that point, I probably made the worst career decision that an active alcoholic or addict could have made, and I decided I wanted to become a registered nurse. I went back to school, and I got my second college degree at age 40, and boom, now I'm a registered nurse. My first few years in nursing were not good. I jumped from job to job to job. The stress just kept mounting, more and more each and every day, and it wasn't long that I suddenly realized that I had a lot of really good medications available to me as a nurse, and I just started taking them. I started getting high at work, and sometimes I would even be drinking at work too, and I became a very, very unsafe nurse and got away with it for a number of years. The kicker was when I ended up working in an ER, and the ER has a lot more serious drugs that I could get my hands on, and I quickly went from pills to just injecting like a shot, and then actually started doing IV and shooting up. I was shooting Dilaudid in the ER, a lot of Dilaudid, and really I'm surprised. I did it for about 3 months before I finally got caught inevitably and got fired and got turned into the Board of Nursing, which definitely saved my life. I was not in a good place, you know, and I was so dangerous. I was so dangerous to my patients, and it was in Paducah, you know, and I worked 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. I was driving home at midnight to Marshall County, you know, every night, all doped up on opiates, and it's a wonder. It's really a wonder that I lived through that, and that I didn't hurt or kill somebody else doing that, you know. I really thought my life was over when I got in trouble with the Board of Nursing. I had a chance at that time to save my license. I never got serious. I worked the system. I was still able to work as a nurse, and I would get my hands on pills. I didn't even legally have access to narcotics as a nurse at that time, but I would find a way to maybe swipe somebody's keys while they were on their lunch break or something. I kept it up for another 3 years until one day I actually discovered meth. When I tell people this, they're like, "You don't look like the type who would do that." And I'm like, "Well, what is the type that would do that?" I'm just a low-bottom drunk needle junkie, you know. Just because I have a college degree, that doesn't make a difference at all. This disease does not discriminate. Looking back, my memories of that drug are really horrific, but I am, as weird as this sounds, very grateful that I found that drug, because it took me down so quickly and so hard that I think I would still be out there slowly killing myself with alcohol or with pills had I not discovered that drug. The nursing license was gone very quickly. I surrendered it in July of 2019, and I did reach out for help at that time. I made a concerted effort to get sober. I just wasn't quite there yet. I got about 4 months of sobriety at that time and met some really good people here in Murray. And a lot of the people that work at Neartown, that work at Neartown now, became my friends. And I started feeling that loving community type feeling at that time, and started my journey of treatment. I had gone to treatment for the first time, to a short-term treatment, and got out and thought I was going to be okay, even though I was highly encouraged to move to sober living, to her town particularly at that time. And I was like, no way, you know, I'm almost 50 years old. There's no way I'm going to move to sober living. I'm not going to do that. And so I made it for maybe 2 months following that before I relapsed. And I was back out there again. And this time was really, really bad. And I knew at that point that short-term treatment wasn't going to cut it for me. So I went to short-term with the plan to transfer to a long-term treatment. So I went away. I was gone for 4 months. And again, it was highly suggested to me when I got out of treatment that I should really consider moving to her town sober living. And I was like, no way, I'm not going to do that. I just did 4 months of treatment. There's no way. And I think I made it a week once I got out. And I had to go back to treatment again for the third time. This was the real turning point for me. I was broken, and I was basically homeless. And really, I didn't want to go to treatment, but I didn't have any place else to go. So I went back to a short-term treatment, and I made a deal the night before I left that I was going to move to her town as soon as I got out. I even paid 2 weeks of rent that night to hold a bed, and made that deal, and got to treatment, and started realizing where I had gone wrong in the past. I really, really wanted to be sober. I really, really, really wanted what these people had that were taking me to treatment. But I said, I just don't think it's possible for me, you know? And that is a scary place to be when you finally realize that you are completely broken and that you need help and you're willing to do whatever it takes, but you just see no hope whatsoever. You just don't think it's gonna work for you anymore. But it was on that hopelessness that I built a foundation. When I was there the very first night, this time around, I remember really, I guess it would be my first spiritual experience that I ever had. They put you in scrubs the very first night because they have to go through your clothes. So I'm sitting in scrubs on a couch watching television, and I haven't eaten in days. I've been throwing up for days, and I'm sitting there and I've had this piece of toast. And I'm trying to eat this piece of toast, but I just can't stomach it. And I'm freezing for some reason. And I don't think I've ever trembled like this my entire life. I've never been this cold. And I'm sitting there all by myself, and all of a sudden these two girls walk in, and I'll never forget them. They were clients there. They'd been there a couple weeks, and they introduced themselves, and they were just happy, you know? And they were like, oh my gosh, you're new, and are you cold? And I said, yes, I'm freezing. And they said, hang on a minute. And they ran off, and they came back a few minutes later with a North Face hoodie and a pair of sweatpants. And they helped me put the clothes on over top of my scrubs, and they said, well, we'll see you later, and they left. And I sat back down, and I started to warm up a little bit, and all of a sudden I could breathe again, and I took a bite of toast, and that toast tasted amazing. And then I took another bite of toast, and before I knew it, I had eaten the whole piece of toast, and I just settled into that warmth. And then all of a sudden I started crying, and I couldn't understand why I was crying. You know, I felt better, but I started crying, and this is like an ugly cry. And I started feeling this emotion, and I just couldn't identify what it was. And it took me a few minutes, but all of a sudden I realized what it was. And it was gratitude. And the reason that I couldn't figure out what it was because I've never felt 1 ounce of it my entire life. And I had a lot of really wonderful things in my life up until that point that I had all taken for granted. Like, I had been married to a pretty decent man, and I'd never been grateful for that. I had the most amazing mother that a woman could ask for, and I had never been grateful for her. I had always just obsessed about the father who didn't want me. So, at that moment, I had nothing except a North Face hoodie and a piece of toast. And I was grateful for both of those things. And man, what an incredible experience that was. Whenever I'm having a bad day, you know, I think about what am I grateful for today? And it's not hard today to identify things that I'm grateful for. And that's how I find God on a daily basis in my life, and that's what keeps me going. I finished treatment, and I got out, and I moved here to our town, so we're living, and man, some people, I guess, go through an adjustment period, but I was in, you know, I was ready to be here, I was grateful to be here. I just threw myself into it. I totally embraced it and just started working on myself and doing, you know, I took responsibility for myself. I really thrived here. I really did. And I ended up staying here for almost 8 months. When I got out, I really thought I was going to be okay. And it wasn't long and I relapsed again. But let me tell you, the first person that I called when I was ready to fess up to my relapse was Holly Cherry, and I think she was at my house within an hour, definitely, and you know, just kind of kicked me in the hiney and with love, and just got me back going again. My life since then has really changed. The people at Neartown had encouraged me to see about what I would need to do to get my nursing license back. And I was scared. I was scared. I was scared of the work that it would take. I was scared that I wouldn't make it and I would just be so let down. But I was having a conversation with one of my friends in particular one day about it because I had really started thinking about it. And he said, well, gosh, what do you got to do to get it back? And I said, oh, I got to do this and this and this, and it's so much. And he said, no. He said, you're looking at the top of the mountain. He said, what you got to do is look at the first step in front of you. And that spoke to me when he said that. And so I called the board of nursing the next day and had a wonderful conversation with them. And let me tell you, when you're sober and you're trying to do the right thing, I had a totally different perspective of the board of nursing. They were no longer the enemy like I thought they were, 3 years before. They were on my side and ready to assist me if I was willing to do the work. Actually, I just got a call yesterday from them and they told me that I've completed all of the requirements, that they are satisfied, and that I'm meeting with them on February 16th. So, I can't believe it. I really can't. I never thought this was possible. And were it not for the support that the people in your town so graciously gave me, time and time again, I know I wouldn't have started that journey. So, my goal now is I want to work in treatment somewhere. Maybe in your town someday, who knows? But I just know that I want to help people like me. And looking back, as many bad memories as I have during my life concerning my disease, I really believe that it was the path that God had intended for me all along because I had to live it, to know it, to be able to turn around and help those who need me now. So, I think that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
So, Mary said, I want to help people like me, and that was too cool. Since then, if you notice the dates and what today's date is, Mary officially got her nursing license back. That's what, everybody that steps into a program doesn't get sober, and the statistics are really against everybody that comes in there, 6 or 8, 10% of people, and that's a big number. We're going to get sober, but we don't do it for the 90 whatever percent that don't get sober. We do it for the 6, 8% that do. And I hope tonight has inspired you guys. I hope you have seen a side of recovery. I hope those of you that are here that are in recovery, you've seen that we can have fun, and we say that we're not a glum lot, and that we can laugh and have a good time and be sober and do it. For those of you that are not in recovery, I hope you've seen that maybe drug addicts aren't as bad as what you thought they were. Maybe you come in here and you thought, hey, there's some, these drug addicts are bad people, and I hope maybe some of us have shown you a different side of that. And I hope the two worlds of us can combine together and we can be like one, y'all. And we can, this addiction thing's not going anywhere, and it takes me, and it takes you, and it takes you, and it takes you, and 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 all of us, and you, especially you. And, it takes all of us doing this thing. I'm so grateful for you guys coming out tonight. I'm so grateful that I started 20 minutes early because we would have been at like 9:20 when we got out of here, had we not. And, man, I can't say enough about the generosity and the love that our community has. There's Jamal made a joke about gangster rappers in the friendliest city in the USA, and it definitely is that. You guys are the heartbeat of this place, and I love you, and I'm grateful for you, and thank you for coming out, and we'll see you next time. Hey, don't forget, there's a table right outside of that door, and there's 2 young ladies sitting there that would love to hand you a bag of Narcan. If you don't, just take it. And if you do a little research on it and you decide you don't want it, give it to somebody else. I promise it can save somebody's life.
Please
Thank
do
you
it.
guys.
Please. Do it. Do it.
Yes.
We'll have some music for you walking out the door. This goes right off the way he said, hard work pays off. It pays off, yeah. To the top. Can't stop. Here we come. Big. Lately I've been daydreaming through my window pane, reflecting back, seeing how far that I came. The time I put in and the memories made with friends. I have faith it'll be worth the way. When I thought the tidal wave, we can ride way into the sunset. I once said I tried till I found a way. Maybe that's why I lie wide awake. Cause I'm alive, just trying to escape all this nonsense, the stress this reality brings. Dizzy from the loop, I jumped out of the ring, and now I don't feel blue when it rains and it pours. And I found that I hate when I'm staying indoors. Cool me or not, I'm as bright as a wine, and don't add to the lungs, I will rise to the top. I can't stop. Well, I won't stop. Yeah. It pays off, yeah. To the top. We can't stop. Here we come. See us at a show, but I really pick a ball, get a source, but I know that I roll like money on trees. In the end, when it falls, I'ma treat them like leaves, ain't checking. Paper burns just like bridges, and fire burns bright. Even when it's in the coldest conditions, this world can't hold me back. There's a fire in my mind, full of frozen ambition. Pays up, yeah. To the top. Can't stop. Here we come. Yes, it is. Thank you guys.